Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, let's check that audio. Welcome to Argyle, Texas. This is where you'll find Liberty Christian School, the home of the Warriors. You'll find some interesting similarities between this school and a hometown rival of our own. Yeah, this is the LCS, that's Liberty Christian School. And they are the Warriors. You'll also see that their colors are navy and, in this case, not green, but gray. And think of the word there for a second there. Gray and white. And I am, yes, tap dancing. If it sounds like I am, that's because I am. So let's take just a second. Let me show you a quick view around this campus. Especially as it's a battle between two first-year head coaches. You have Anthony Lucas for Pulaski Academy, of course, and also for Liberty Christian School is Jason Witten. And for those of you who think, well, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar, well, it should, because that is the same Jason Witten who was a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. So joining me this evening, I've tap danced long enough, I think. Joining me this evening is our former head coach, Kevin Kelley. Thanks for joining me. This is awesome.
Oh, man, glad to be here. Glad to be here.
I haven't ever had you in the booth before. This is going to be awesome.
Nice to see some familiar faces. Got to just see a lot of old friends already. And
sure.
Go do a little recruiting in Arkansas and come down here and see what these guys have.
Fantastic. Well, I know that I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a great game. You know, one of the things that I was looking at just to see what type of offense the Warriors play, it seemed like they have just a certain set that they stick with, and that could be just because that this is a first-year coach. Would that be a valid assessment?
Yeah, Jason and I had set this up in the spring. You know, Madison was looking around for a game for us in the early spring, and Jason and I hooked up on a phone call and talked, and they were 2-7 last year, but he felt like he had made some strides in getting the kind of culture he wanted, and this year, he said going into this year, he's got some young guys and need to keep it pretty simple. I remember him talking about that even back in April. And so that all said, I think that's what he's trying to do. I think he thinks he'd like to do more, but he wants to make sure they can at least execute the things he does want, even if it's not enough. So,
sure.
So I think that's where he is. It's a first-year program, and he's going to be learning a lot as a coach too. I mean, it's one thing to play the game, know the game like he has. It's a whole other thing when you're trying to teach it to the guys that have to do it on the field and you can't go out there and do it yourself.
Absolutely it is. Looking back at this year's season for Pulaski Academy, we've had a few struggles here and there, but I think overall the Bruins are on a good pace. We had a fantastic game several weeks ago against Lipscomb Academy in Nashville, and that was a heartbreaker for the Bruins, but I think it turned out possibly to be one of those situations where you have steel sharpening steel. Yeah, and I think that's going to really show out in the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the game and looked at it, and what you had was kind of a tale of two teams. You had one team that was trying to go really fast, and you had another team that was big, strong, and fast, and just wanted to play their game. And something had to come to it. Something had to give right there. And up in Nashville with our guys traveling 6 and 7 hours, and I say our guys, but I guess I got to be careful about that, but they are. That's my guys. I was there 24 years, and
sure.
And
you know every one of the players that'll be playing on this field tonight.
Yeah, I do, and even some of the guys that Witness talked to me about. But knowing those guys, not only have I known them, I've watched them since they were in 5th grade.
Sure.
And growing up and played 7 years of football, so I'm still in contact with some of those guys that just text me and say, hey, Coach, I'm having this problem or that problem in life,
Right.
I mean, because you have that bond, that relationship. So it's exciting to see these guys come, and what they like to do is be the first team to play a team.
Right.
They were the first team that PA's ever had to play Lipscomb. Now
right.
They're the first team to play this team, and it's something these guys will remember the rest of their life. I mean, very, very few people get to go play college football.
Sure.
Very, very few. but they remember things like this. They
Right.
remember traveling out of state. They remember playing, and they're going to remember playing Jason Witten's team because everybody knows who that is. So I'm excited for them. I know they're really excited. I talked to the coaches a while ago before the game. Those guys are jacked up too. So looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great game. I'll tell you, I've been in contact with the administration from Johnny Isom, like I said, their athletic director, all the way down to, there's several of their assistants and their administrative staff in the athletic department. I've been talking with them for probably the last 2 or 3 months, even before our season started. And it's just been fantastic. You couldn't ask for more friendly group of people who are just welcoming and just they've reached out to me several times before I even asked anything, said, hey, do you have everything? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Which, I got to tell you, that's unheard of. People don't understand how difficult this is. There's a lot of animosity when we come into someone else's school, especially as a visiting team. And, they don't want to, give us a spot or they don't want to give us internet or whatever. And we're used to that. That's just what happens. But it's really unusual to see a situation like this where they're just welcoming. And
they were the same. They were the same way back in the spring. We were just trying to contact them and get and figure out the game and where we're going to play it and how we were going to do it and all that. They were right there, very hospitable, and you're right. It's not always that way. And,
right.
And so really a tip of the hat to those guys for doing things the right way and making it easy on the visitors.
Very good. Well, it looked like Pulaski Academy won the toss, if I'm correct. And so if that's the case, I'm sure the Bruins elected to receive. I can't imagine the Bruins doing anything but.
Yeah, we started doing that a long time ago. I wondered, if Coach Lucas would continue to do that because most teams – defer.
Sure.
So they, so in the second half, they're sure they get the football back, and we started doing that a long time ago. We believe in that offense. We believe in putting 7 on the board first and making the other team play from behind. And Anthony, that's one of the things that he's carried on.
Yeah. So the looks like Bruins are getting ready to take the field. Trying to see what the banner says across the way there. There's power in the pink.
Power in the pink. It turned October today.
Yeah, October. So it's
Breast Cancer Awareness
Month.
Yeah.
That's right. So there's Coach Lucas leading the team out onto the field. And it looks like the Warriors are already set to kick this one off.
We might need to get out there. Hope they don't let them kick it without us.
Right. Well, there's several things that make this one a little bit different for the Bruins. One, it's a 7:30 game. I don't know how much that throws off a team. Probably not much.
No, I don't think so. I think, if anything, they like it a little bit better. The sun's completely down.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that, and the sun shadows.
Well, and you've got time to digest anything you ate.
Yeah, it's a little bit more everything. Everything's a little bit better. If anything, they had a little more wait time up there to get a little nervous if the guys that are nervous, some are, some aren't.
Right.
They're already kicking this thing off.
There's the kick off the foot of number 39, Hayden Carlton. And that one is going to be received and carried forward at about the 28-yard line. That's where the Bruins will have their very first Holloman and Associates first down.
And classic PA right there. You're kind of afraid of what you do, and we always play that 8 and 9 man front up there to make sure we're not onside kicked ourselves, and really we have faith in your offense. You just want to get it out between the 25 and the 30. If you get lucky and get it further than that, you're in good shape.
All right, I would imagine we will see.
They look a little Notre Dame-ish down there, don't
they? Yeah,
they
do.
With the gold hats and the navy.
It looks sharp.
Well, a little swinging gate to start it off with.
Here's Charlie Pfizer in the shotgun. He takes the snap, passes to the left side. That one's complete to John Mark Charette. He's across the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. That's a touchdown for the Bruins within the first 17 seconds of play.
Yeah, Liberty Christian didn't know how to line up to that. The ball was on the right hash. PA had a receiver snapping the ball, a quarterback, and a back in the backfield, and lined up all the linemen on the far left top of the numbers, and they didn't adjust with them, and so they just threw it over there, and there was nobody over there, and John Mark just ran it down. I guess they called him out at the 10.
Here's Pfizer again. He has 2 receivers on the right side, man in motion. There's a handoff to Joe Hyman. He makes his way across the 10, tiptoes down the sideline. I think he was forced out of bounds right at the 5-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal for the Bruins.
I didn't see John Mark step out there on the 10, but they did. That guy gave him one last shove, so kind of fooled us a little bit. But Joe gets him halfway to the goal line on the next play.
Yeah, I didn't see that either, honestly. I thought that was clean.
I think you're going to see a little screen right here, possibly.
Yep.
No.
There's Pfizer. He looks to pass. He's in the end zone, and it's complete. He found Charlie Barker in there, and I'm still looking to see, did he actually give a sign?
I didn't see him throw up the hands, but they're acting like it's a touchdown.
I don't want to make an incorrect call
and
twice.
They put 6 on the board, so I'm guessing they gave it to us.
All right, well, there it is. Looks like our scoreboard's going to play along with us tonight. So far, so good. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. The Bruins lead 6-0.
I've been watching you guys. and that scoreboard it gives a little bit of trouble.
That is the hardest part of this entire job.
Yeah.
4 receivers on the right side, 1 to the left. Pfizer rolls out to the right side, passes out there, and there's no one to receive it. I think Jalen McKinney was in the area, but he couldn't get a hand on it.
I don't know if you noticed that. Joe was split out by himself, and so they had 4-by-1, and Liberty Christian assigned 2 guys right to him. I mean,
that's smart.
They're just saying, hey, we're going to play with 9 on the rest of you guys.
Sure.
But we're going to take him away from you. That was interesting.
They did their homework. Well, folks, if you're joining us for the first time ever, welcome, and thank you for joining us on PA Live. You will notice that I tend to describe the plays a little bit more than you would see on a television broadcast, and that's because we have several Bruin fans who are visually impaired, and we like for them to be able to keep up with the game as well. So that is the reason I talk so much, that and the fact that, well, I just talk so much.
Well, my aunt loves watching it. She doesn't see really well.
Perfect.
She just loves – she always says, where's the game so I can listen to it,
there
actually.
It is.
So
what's her name?
I enjoy it. Gayla Ruiz.
Gayla, thanks for watching. Love it. That's why I do it.
As a matter of fact, she texted me today. Is it still in the same place where I can listen to the game? And I'm thinking, do you watch it all? Or
It's every time. Here's Von Seelig. He has the ball set up kind of on its back, so to speak, kind of reclining on the tee. And he kicks it over to the left side, and it is going to be recovered by the Bruins as a clean kick. It's gone 10 yards. I couldn't see who came away with that. It was 10. Thank you, Christina. That's
Will Hawkins.
Will Hawkins. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was Will. Vaughn was set up to kick it to the right, and then he swerved around and kicked it because they only had 2 guys on the left side.
Sure.
And one of their young men went out and tried to field it. It bounced off his arm and into 2 Bruins, and Will Hawkins, I guess, came up in that fight amongst the 2 Bruins.
So when the Bruins, when you were coaching at this time, when the kicker runs out there, is it his call to look at that and see that and make the decision?
No, he's got one call he can make. That's not one of them. They
Okay.
saw that on the sidelines.
Okay. So there's a quick pitch to Joe Hyman. He's across the 45 and makes his way across the 40, and I think that is enough to move the chains. Let's see. Waiting for that signal. Yes, it is. So that's our second Holloman and Associates first down of the game.
Bruins are up really fast for the next play already. Now,
go ahead.
You are gonna. I think you might see a screen pass. Watch Joe go across and then come back.
Lots of pressure on Pfizer, and that pass goes quickly to Joe Hyman. He's across the 30, the 25, and is forced out of bounds by number 5. That's Cooper Stevens.
We have a flag on the field. Think it might be a hold or a block in the back.
I think the folks at home have a better chance of hearing the official than we do tonight, since we're at an away game. Oh, they're going to wave that one off. So no PI roofing penalty flag on this play.
So Joe's touched the ball 3 times. He took him halfway to the goal line on the first one, had an 11-yard run, and then comes back with about an 18, 19-yard catch right there.
The Bruins from their own, that's from the Warriors' 20-yard line. It's first 10 to go. There's the snap to Pfizer. Quick pitch goes to Hyman, and he is snatched up quickly for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, it was Charlie's giving the illusion that he's sprinting out to the right and just a little underhanded shovel pass to Joe, but nobody blocked the backside. It looked like the left half of the line may or may not have known that it was going to come back this way. I think they thought it was a sprint out to the right.
Right.
The signals actually look pretty similar.
So second, 14 to go for the Bruins. 10 minutes even in the first quarter. Pfizer's in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers on the right side. Quick handoff to Pfizer. He goes straight up the middle, pushes his way up to the 20-yard line. It's going to pick up a gain of 1 yard inside the original line of scrimmage.
This is going to be the first real telling play of the game on the pass blocking. This is going to be the first time that the Bruins are kind of forced to throw the ball, 3rd and 10.
He has 3 receivers on the left, 2 to the right. There's the snap. He's looking to the right side, passes out there, and it tips the fingers of John Mark Charette, but nothing more.
John Mark found a hole in it. Charlie was just a little off, but John Mark needs to come down with that with 2 hands on it. If you touch it with 2 hands, we always say if you touch it, you can catch it. But,
right.
But that would have been a tough catch, but it's one John Mark makes. His hands are really good, and he's been a really solid receiver for Charlie, especially for a sophomore.
Here's our very first fourth down conversion for the Bruins, in this game at least. 9 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Bruins lead 6-0. He has twin receivers on either end of the field, and Joe Hyman moves his way up to the line. There's the snap. He's looking,
Touchdown.
passes out there, and it's caught in the end zone by John Mark Charette.
Yeah, they sent Joe out into the flat, and the safety, who probably shouldn't pay attention to him because the safety should be covering deep, he stepped with Joe too, and then John Mark ran in right behind him. It was an easy throw and catch.
Nice.
It's a good job by Coach Thrash using Joe as a decoy when he saw that they're paying so much attention to him.
Going for the two-point conversion. He has three receivers on the left, two to the right. Now Hyman in motion. Comes back to center, rolls back out to the left side. He has the ball, and he is stopped with about 4 yards to go before he reaches the end zone. So the score will stay. Pulaski Academy leads with 12-0 with 9 minutes, 26 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, give Liberty Christian credit. 2 quick touchdowns, but both times they've stood tall in the 2-point conversions to keep it a score where if they score a touchdown and make it 12-7, they feel like they're right there in the game, and the next score put them ahead. We've yet to get to see this Liberty Christian team on offense. So
right.
So it's a bad feeling from all my buddies in high school that we've played where we've scored and got an onside and scored again. It's a bad feeling when you're down 14-0 or 2 scores and you hadn't had the ball yet.
Right.
They tell me that's a tough one to bring the guys back from, which is part of the reason to do it.
There it is.
Vaughn's set up again. Looks like he's going to try to kick the original kick he was going to kick before he swung around last time. We call this the NBA kick.
The NBA kick. And why that?
Well, because it's the longest far. It's like a long three-pointer going across there. You put it on the farthest part of the hash. Oh, he's going to do the same thing.
Not quite going to make it 10 yards before it bounces out of bounds. So the Warriors will take possession, their first offensive possession of this one.
I'm anxious to see what if Coach Witten kind of comes out and stays with his game plan, or if he comes out firing to try to catch him off guard quick and get a score on the board and give his team a little confidence. My guess would be a longtime veteran like him in the NFL game. You don't even look at the score. You come out and do what you want to do.
Sure, that makes sense. It was interesting before the game. The officials brought us this laminated card with all of their portraits on it to let us know who was officiating this game. I'll roll down those later tonight. I don't know if that's a normal thing in Texas, but it's kind of nice.
What that usually means is they're going to do a really good job. If they want you to know their face up close, they're going to do a good job.
That's true. Here's the quarterback for the Warriors. He steps back from the shotgun, has the pass on the left side. It's caught, and they pick up, looks like 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bruins brought a blitz up the middle right there. They didn't block him, and the quarterback did a nice job just to get that off and get it in the place where a receiver could catch it.
That's Jacob Vaughn, who is their quarterback. He's a junior this year. There's the snap, going to the right side this time. This time it is complete to Christian Driver. He's stopped immediately by Hunt Harrison.
That was a nice job by Hunt, too. The quarterback took his hand off the ball. He looked out, saw that, and just sprinted immediately so quickly that the receiver that was assigned to block him couldn't get there in time. And he had a free tackle on the receiver that was while he still had his hands up in the air to catch the ball.
So from the Bruins' 40-yard line, here's 3rd down, 6 to go for the Warriors of Liberty Christian here in Argyle, Texas.
Bruins are moving all over, trying to mix up the offensive line.
There's the snap to Vaughn. He looks to the right side, and it's caught complete to Michael Zargone.
That's another nice job by the offensive line for Liberty Christian picking up the blitz. I couldn't even tell where PA was going to come from on that time because they had their their defensive line shifting one way, linebacker shifted another, and it really disguised it well.
So that put them just inside looks like they're just inside the 25-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Liberty Christian Warriors.
Looks like they're ready to bring it again.
Vaughn has the snap. He's looking to the right side. The pass is out there, and it's complete to number 1. That's Caden Navarro, and he's not going down without a fight. I think that was Patton Wicker, along with some help from Bo Miller on the stop.
Yeah, Bruins are playing it a little bit safe with him. He's known to have some speed, and they're backing off, and he's going to take the underneath right now. The last 2 plays, they've thrown it underneath and not tried to go over the top, and PA's going to have to give that a little bit because that's one thing they usually lack is a little bit of speed in the secondary, but they do come up and tackle ferociously.
Well, that's 2 first downs in a row for the Warriors. 7:30 left in the first quarter. There's the snap. Quick handoff. That time goes to Caden Navarro. He pushes it up the middle. He might have picked up a yard, but it's hard to tell from here.
First run of the game for Liberty Christian, so you could tell they got a lot of faith in their quarterback and their receivers, and not a lot there for the there was a lot of guys in the box for the Bruins. There wasn't a lot there for that running back to even have a chance to do.
He was stopped pretty quickly by Joseph Osment. Saw his parents at breakfast this morning.
Back to no back set.
They have an empty set with 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. There's the pass to the left side. It's complete, and he has hit quickly right back to the line of scrimmage. That's Patton Wicker on that stop.
Patton's made a couple of nice plays on this early on both 2 different sides of the field. That was a good job by him coming up, because if he misses that tackle, there's nobody else around. That kid could have walked into the end zone.
6 minutes, 30 seconds. With all this running going on, the clock just kind of fades away. Bruins lead 12-0. Warriors have the ball inside the red zone. There's the pass. He's in the end zone. Oh, and that looks like a clean pass defense there. I was afraid we might see some flags come out, but no.
He did a good job of keeping his head up and leading with his shoulder right there. That was going to be a touchdown for a split second. He had almost secured that ball away, and Patton came from the other safety spot and knocked it out. That saved a touchdown because it was in both hands.
Here's 4th down, 10 yards to go. They're going for it.
Yep, no field goal for these guys either.
There's the snap going to the right side. Pass is out there, and his receiver, I don't think he realized that he was the intended receiver on that play.
Well, he ran an out and up, and the quarterback threw the out. So miscommunication, but the quarterback had a guy in his face. He had a lot of pressure, so I don't think he even miscommunicated. I think he just threw it before the guy turned it up and hoped he would see it and catch it.
Well, in any case, that's not a bad spot. If you have to turn over the ball, you want to do it at your own 13-yard line. That's not bad.
No, absolutely. And they want to make them go a long ways. And the points expected when you get the ball down there is not very high. So, like you said, and, who knows if they think they have a kicker that can kick field goals very well, or they just know that they're going to score a lot of points.
Bobbled snap from Joe Hyman. He's trying to fight his way out of the end zone. That snap went directly to Joe. I think it hit him right in the hands, but his hand was extended upward, and the ball got shot up into the air. He tried to fight his way back out of the end zone. Yes, it looks like he did by inches.
Well, and that snap was a rocket, too.
Yes, it was.
That was harder than your normal snap right there. I don't really fault Joe for that one.
Take a look at this one, folks. Everyone's feet are in the end zone. The ball is not. But now, again, Hyman's going to take that snap directly, punches it out of the end zone, and he's stopped at about the 3-yard line for 2nd down.
Joe being committed to Northwestern, and that's where he's going to go. He loves that place. But right there, it tells you how much I fear Joe. I'm thinking he's going 99 on this play.
Oh, sure.
They motion Charlie out of the backfield. He's back there by himself, and I'm like, he's going to go to the house.
He's gone.
Thing. Yeah.
It could happen.
I was more scared of that than I was of safety if I'm the other team. There's a better chance he goes 99 than -1.
John Mark Charette comes back on the far left side. You've got Hyman in the backfield, 2 receivers on either end.
If the Bruins don't make any yards here, it'll be interesting to see whether they choose to punt or not. But
pass is complete. That is Jalen McKinney, forces his way up to, it looks like the 20-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and about 4 yards to go for the Bruins.
Yeah, they won't punt on that. But, that was a nice job throwing underneath and letting the receiver work in open space and get him to a manageable 4th down.
He was stopped this time by Logan Mallard, along with number 3, that's Trey Hampton. So 4th down, 3 yards to go, 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Bruins lead 12-0.
Bruins in a quad set, a 4x1 to the left, to the short side.
Looks like Pfizer's keeping this one, and he takes a running dive. He picked up the Holloman and Associates 1st down by 1 yard.
Yeah, nice job. They're using 2 guys on Joe split out by himself over there, and then they just take one man out of the box, and Charlie gets an easy 1st down.
Well, it's one thing to talk about the Bruins getting in the Caldwell Toyota red zone, but how about this one getting out of the Caldwell Toyota red zone?
Yeah, I think it'd be the Liberty Christian red zone they're trying to get out of.
Right. This time he has 3 receivers set on the left side. Is a man in motion. That's Joe Hyman in the backfield. Looks to pass. It's a little fake action there. Oh, but they didn't fall for it.
The corner on the other side was all over that play. I watched him the entire time thinking they might do something backside because it looked too easy when Joe came out here that they weren't just going to flip it out to him.
Well, he made it pretty obvious, jumping up and down, like throw the ball to me, like it was intramural football or something.
A little overplay there.
Yeah, a little over dramatic. There's 3, same set. It looks like this time. He has Joe in the backfield Pfizer has him on his right side. There's 3 receivers on the left, 1 receiver on the right. Looks like they're wearing down the clock. There's the snap. Looking to the left side, passes out there, and it's complete to Charlie Barker. He picked up the Holloman and Associates first down, making his way up to the Bruins' 37-yard line.
One thing people don't see, or how they do a nice job, PA's receivers always do, of slowing down in the open windows. Instead of sprinting through them where the window's not there for the quarterback very long, they do a nice job of settling into those things.
There's the snap once again, handoff to Joe Hyman. He forces his way across the 40, across the 45, and is stopped by a million people, Christina says, at the 46-yard line. That'll be 2nd and 1. And that's our first timeout of the game. And let's see.
Called by Liberty Christian.
Yeah, called by Liberty Christian. 2 minutes, 39 seconds left in the first quarter. If for those of you just joining us, or maybe you tuned in a little bit late, I'm joined this evening by Coach Kevin Kelley, and just excited. It's been, it's fun to talk with you. It has been fun to talk with you in years past about the broadcast and about the game. But so this is just kind of a fun thing just for me, just to have you up here and to hear your comments on the game as we go tonight.
Well, I enjoy it. I've gotten to do several of these, not PAs, but other ones, and it's fun. And you guys, I've said it all along, you guys do as well as anybody. I mean, I watch ESPN Plus for our kind of games, and you guys do just as well as any of those games. That's the honest truth. You guys do a fantastic job, and right up until last year, remember our final game that we could broadcast the semifinals, had over 30,000 people watch. I got so many emails saying, man, you guys do a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Here's that's 2nd and 1. He has the snap. Lots of pressure. He's going to shove that one off. That one gets caught by Jalen McKinney, and he's still on his feet. Up the sidelines, he's still on his feet across the 20, and he is brought down just inside the Caldwell Toyota red zone. That's incredible. They were in a deep hole in the middle of that play and then turned it into something great.
Yeah, and it was partially the play design, great play design. Looked out there, one good block, and then Jalen, after contact, made another 15 yards.
Pfizer looking to find someone in the end zone. He thought Charlie Barker was in range, but Charlie couldn't reach that one. They set up that play very quickly. It looked like at first I thought they had triplets stacked on the left side, but they were just kind of all grouped together.
That's one thing I think Coach Thrash has done a really nice job of, a much better job than I could ever do, is he's got these guys playing really fast after a big play.
Yeah.
Get them back up to the line and run another play while the other team's still trying to decompress what just happened to them.
Sure. Makes sense. You want to take advantage and capitalize on that whenever you can. So here's 2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Bruins from the Warriors' 20-yard line. Lots of noise from the Warrior crowd. There's the snap, looking to pass. Pfizer running out to the left side. He's out of the box. He's going to keep this one and run it out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Still picked up 5 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Bruins.
He's deceptively quick back there. It looks like he's going to get caught to me, and then he just turned the corner and ended up making positive yards out of nothing. And 3rd and 6 is a lot better than 3rd and 10.
Absolutely it is. Pfizer in the shotgun. He has Hyman on his right side. There's 3 receivers on the right, 1 to the left. There's the snap. Quick handoff to Hyman. He goes the opposite direction. He's across the 10, the 5, and he's tripped up by the shoelace at the 1-yard line. That will pick up a Holloman and Associates first down. He was stopped by Brady Janusek. I think that's how you say it.
That's that same play they ran a while ago where I said it looks like they were sprinting right and the backside didn't get it. They got it that time and looked up, and Joe had a big alley to run in. Of course, he's always going to take advantage of it.
Looking to the sidelines, finding Coach Thrash for that play. He has everyone pulled in tight for this one. There's the snap. Quick handoff to Hyman and a nice shove in the back, and he's in the end zone for another Bruin touchdown.
For years and years, PA quarterbacks on a couple of our plays that are real downhill plays, as we call it,
Right.
have been shoving quarterbacks. And I'll never forget a couple of years ago, we were down on the 1-yard line.
I remember this one.
And it actually happened the 2 plays in a row where we got to third down, we tried to throw it in, and Braden shoves our running back. He shoves Joe down.
So hard he hit the ground.
He hit the ground pretty hard.
Looking to pass. He's trying to find someone. A little bit of pressure, but he's scrambling around. Oh, did he catch that ball? No, he did not.
Say he didn't.
Wow, that's tough. I think that was Zach Biagioni back there. I think it made contact with the ground before he reached it.
Yeah, Zach did a nice job working open when Charlie couldn't find anybody, but couldn't come up with the low pass. But then I take out the running back and I put Isarius Woods in.
Right.
Take Isarius Woods. And I'll be darned if Braden doesn't shove him on the ground too. 2 in a row. We don't make a touchdown on that drive. And Braden, I gave him credit for both tackles.
I love it.
I had to make him stop doing that. I'm like, you
Right.
can't shove. He didn't need you to shove him.
Stop hurting the guys.
You're our quarterback, and everybody knows Brady's a small guy.
Right.
And he's just shoving him in the ground hard.
1 minute, 42 seconds left in the first quarter. The Bruins lead 18-0 over the Liberty Christian Warriors here in Argyle, Texas. Just a beautiful campus. You ought to look across the way there, Coach. Do you see that window?
Yeah.
With the angled room? That's their wrestling facility.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Very nice.
That's the weight room and the locker room, yeah.
Well, I coached. Here's the onside kick by Vaughn.
Nice bounce. I don't think that one's going to make it 10 yards, so the Warriors are going to pick that one up after a 9-yard travel. 9-yard distance there.
Yeah, I coached down here from 93 to 97. And wrestling was huge then.
Sure.
You know, if you played football, you almost all wrestled, and it was a big deal. And now, I mean, they value wrestling down here so much. It's a major sport.
Sure.
And so there are wrestling rooms all around this city. And you see the football stadiums; they look like college stadiums.
Oh yes, every one of them.
Wrestling facilities do too.
Yeah. Okay. One day.
One day.
All right. Back on the offense. Here is Jacob Vaughn. He has the snap, looking to the right side. There's a flag that comes out.
Free play.
And now that one is received by Michael Zarcone. He makes his way into the end zone. There's confetti and flags, but let's see.
We're in Texas, and in Texas you play college rules. In college rules, if the defense jumps, it's a free play for the offense.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the PA coaches realize that, but you saw the Bruins all stop because in Arkansas for NFHS, which is 39 states, I think.
Yes.
If there's an offsides, they blow it dead.
Right.
But down in Texas, they let it play.
Interesting.
And
so they weren't expecting
it's just
that.
like it's just like you see Division I college and pro. It's a free play. And it's where you don't want to be as a defense because even if it's intercepted, it doesn't count. It's all risk, no reward for the defense.
Sure. Just interesting watching that PAT. The looked like the left side of our defense came across and just blew right through their line, but he still made the extra point.
Didn't get it.
No flags out there.
They weren't able to block it. It looked like one of them had a real chance to for a second.
Yeah. So now that you have the score, Bruins still leading 18 to Liberty Christians 7. Let's take a look real quickly over at our live fan feedback. I'm going to try and see if there's anybody out there watching tonight has anything nice to say. Keyword there is nice. Let's see. Go Jalen McKinney. That's from Uncle Paul. And Aunt Barbie, they're cheering from Heber Springs. Trey Adams tuning in from Abilene Christian. Good to see the Bruins dominating as usual. That's Trey Adams from the class of 2017. Good to hear from you. This one is the kickoff back to the Bruins, and that is received. Trying to see who is that masked man. He's still on his feet, though. That's
our backup running back.
32. That's Kenny Jordan. Of course it is, yeah. So he made his way all the way up just outside the 30-yard line. It looks like they're going to place it at right on the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he started up the right hash, and usually we just, tell him to get what you can get and get out of bounds and don't take the hits. But I guess he saw a little area to cut back to and tried to bring it there, and I almost had a chance to break a big one.
Certainly did. Pfizer set up in the shotgun. He has 3 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. Joe Hyman in the backfield. There's the snap. Little play action to Hyman. Goes to the right side. The pass is complete to Charlie Barker, and he is stopped right after receiving that, right at the 42-yard line. That's another Holloman and Associates first down. You say 32? Number 2, that's Elijah Williams with the stop.
Nice play fake by Charlie, and when Joe's going the other direction and they think he's got the ball, the linebackers just left this side of the field open, and he really had his pick of receivers to throw it to.
This time he has 3 receivers on the right, 1 to the left. Hyman still in the backfield. Now man in motion. There's the snap. Another play action to Hyman. He's going to pass this time. It's complete to Zach Biagioni, and he is caught immediately by number 14. That is Colby McCray. And looks like that was a gain of about 6 yards. That'll be second and 4. Second down and 4 to go.
Nice little play call to bring Zach from out to in to back out, and it kind of hit him from the defense.
This time a quick shovel pass to Hyman. He pushes his way up to the 50-yard line and then gets a nice hit in the back to give him an extra yard.
I think Joe ran over his own guy.
I think
he
did.
Poor Max Gorman was there blocking, and Joe didn't have a hole, so he just ran over Max and the defender.
Right. Max says, hang on a second. I got to go. I got an equipment issue. I'm missing a shoe.
Yeah, I think he knocks his shoe off.
You can't play in socks, but Max knows that. He's a good guy. Got all the Gormaniacs and the Gorm Storm, I think, over there in the stands watching this one. That's another completed pass to Charlie Barker. Another Holloman and Associates first down.
Charlie seemed to be a guy that shows up and I mean, I guess he takes advantage of the defense. Either he catches a lot of passers, they really shut him down. There's not, it's not 4 or 5 or 4. It's 10 or 2.
And it looks like that will mark the end of the first quarter. So let's take a short break. We'll have more Bruin football right here on PA Live.
This Friday Night Spotlight is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota. Pulaski Academy would like you to join us in recognizing our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Kate epitomizes the core value student. She is a gifted writer, tenacious lacrosse player, and a kind soul, all rolled into one person. Kate is a true role model for all students at Pulaski Academy. Congratulations to our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Our Core Value Student of the Week is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota, just another way Caldwell cares.
Welcome back to the Ron Jones RE/MAX Affiliates Realty Studio. Let's get back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Bruins back going the other direction now. They're moving from our left to right. Zach Biagioni in motion. Pfizer has the snap. He's trying to find Biagioni, but he could not get there.
Threw it right outside of his outstretched arms. It looked like Charlie threw it a little bit before Zach was able to break on his route. Going to put him in a 2nd and 10, but they're on the other, the plus side of the field, so I expect that this might be another. I think they're going to give it to Joe right here. It seems like when they throw an incompletion, give it to Joe, make sure you get something positive.
Sure. 2nd and 10, Twins stacked on the right side. Biagioni in motion. Now he takes the snap, takes a few steps back, and he's going to throw it deep. Very deep. Too deep. That went all the way through the end zone, and I think, is there actually a wire out there between?
I think that's a shadow.
Is it? Okay.
I think it is.
I thought I saw him trip over something that moved.
He threw it right out of the back of the end zone. Jalen had it in his hands for a split second. I couldn't tell if his feet were in, and then when he hit the ground, the ball popped out.
Very good.
Well, he caught me off guard. I didn't think they would go deep on that play after that first one. I thought they'd like to give it to Joe. They have a couple times after they've thrown incompletions.
This time they have Twins stacked on both ends of the field. There's the snap. Looking to the right. Lots of pressure, and then gives like a – I'm not even sure what you call that.
We've been doing little underhanded screens,
okay.
Pitching it underhand because linemen always get their hands up when they realize they're screened. And Charlie looked like he just shoved it a little too quick. He kind of caught Joe off guard. Usually it's a little soft toss in there.
Well, Popeye's our videographer tonight, of course, as always, and he sent me a text just now to tell you, hey, Coach.
Oh, hey, Popeye.
So Pfizer, lots of pressure, running out to the left side, trying to make something happen. He's going to send a bullet out there to John Mark Charette, and it is well defended. Great job there by Trey Hampton. He got his hands out there in front of the ball.
I tell you what Liberty Christian did a good job of is Charlie was sprinting out to the right. Reverse field went all the way to the left, and one lone guy saw him and got out there and didn't attack Charlie, but stayed there where Charlie couldn't run for the first down, and he had to throw it. And then people don't understand how hard it is. Charlie still had plenty of time, but he had been in the back there about 7 or 8 seconds.
Sure.
And you just think that clock's running out, and he had to force a throw right there. But great job by Liberty Christian.
Here he is trying to find his name once again, Jacob Vaughn. He has the snap, lots of pressure, and he is going to taste some turf.
Yeah, nice blitz by PA, and obviously Liberty Christian had a hard time picking it up. They didn't just miss one; they missed 2 of those guys, and so you had 2 guys get there, and Vaughn had no chance of getting out of that.
Yeah, he was sacked in that tackle for loss by Hunt Harrison. Looks like they lost nearly 9 yards on that one.
Yeah, and that's a good stat. In college football, 77% of all games are won by who has the most sacks.
Wow.
So Bruins already have a couple.
Yep.
And so that puts them in a good spot as far as that stat goes.
This time he has 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and he gives a quick play-action handoff. Looks like it went nowhere quickly.
That was a nice play by Ben Smiley right there. Ben could have, they ran the running back the other way, the line went the other way, and Ben stayed at home and waited right there for Vaughn to pull the ball and on a little zone read. Liberty Christian huddling up on a 3rd and, 21 yards to go. So this is going to be, I would look for the young man that they hit deep a while ago. If the Bruins single him up, I think they might just take another shot deep and just punt it if they don't get it.
There's the snap, looking to pass. He has it out there, and this one could be, that was really closely intercepted. You had Bo Miller right there. Excuse me, that is Bo Miller. Looked like he was there to catch that one.
That's what I thought they would do, that same post pattern up the middle. He took a chance on it, but obviously he was ready for that. 3rd and long, it's really hard to throw those because the guys are already backed up and thinking deep anyway. And but man, well played that time by a couple of Bruins, and Bo just happened to get his hands on that one.
4th down, 21 yards to go, and there's the punt. That one is going to bounce out of bounds, I think. Oh, maybe not. Nicely done. That one is going to be downed inside the Bruins territory, right at, looks like the 49-yard line.
It was headed straight left, and it just headed straight right. It looked like my car today when I got lost with the GPS.
Can you bring that annual fund up just real quick? Folks, we did this once last year. Pause real quick. You can see that URL right there. Make a donation during the game, and you are automatically entered to win this prize basket of Bruin fan gear. So don't miss out. Make sure to donate to the annual fund during the game tonight, and sometime during the 4th quarter, we will announce the winner of tonight's raffle.
Nice little 18-yard game by Joe. Faked the handoff to Charlie. Caught the snap, faked it to Charlie. They wrapped a guard and a tackle around. It opened up a hole for 18.
This looks like 2 receivers on the left, 3 on the right. There's the snap. Lots of time. He's going to take his time, get that one off to John Mark Charette, and he is wrapped up and brought down inside the Caldwell Toyota red zone for another Holloman & Associates first down.
That was a nice job on a play we call Twister, where they run double crossings and run John Mark in behind it. And Charlie just has to read the linebacker and see if he comes down or not. And he came down and he made the right decision. Quick throw, and then John Mark did a nice run after catch. Bruins started in a 2-back set and shifted out to an empty, and then split everybody, ran Joe in the back out, and opened up the middle again for what most people would consider a tight end, but we don't really use a tight end. So, another nice play design and nice execution by Charlie. The offensive line is doing a great job of giving him time too. I mean, right now, early on, he was having to move around a little bit, but right now he's getting to stay on his spot. And if you leave Charlie on his spot, or most quarterbacks, the game's a whole lot easier. Little fake handoff around by Joe, and the whole entire defense came this way.
Fell for it. Yep.
And then a little pitch back up under to Charlie Barker for the easy touchdown.
Heather Cooper writes in, says, great to hear Coach Kelley in the booth. We're all rooting for you, watching from Batesville. We can root for PA. We're in a very exclusive company, one of only 2 5A schools that beat PA. Good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
Man, I did not look forward to those battles with Batesville. Dave King's done a great job up there for years, and the kids from Batesville were just tough kids. But yeah, I think we were it's one of the few teams that we were 500 against. I think we were 1-1 in the playoffs against those guys.
I don't doubt it. The Pioneers, tough team, always have been. So Joe Hyman trots that one in for the extra point. Now Bruins lead 26-7 with 8 minutes 46 seconds left in the first half. Stick around for our Ackles Carpet One halftime show. Had a memory lapse there, but we have 2 back-to-back fantastic interviews. With Kyle Vaughn, who is just a great person to talk to in any case, just a very interesting person. But he's going to talk to us about the Writing Center and what it can do for students and who can use it and how. But also we're going to hear from a couple of the students in the drama department who are actually involved in the upcoming play of Puffs. And it's just going to be a hilarious spoof play of a very familiar magical school of magic and magic, I think is the way they put it. So stick around and check that one out. This is going to be a play you do not want to miss. It'll have you rolling in the floor.
My daughter went and visited the theater department today and checked in and told me about that.
All right. Well, there's the kick from Von Seelig. Takes a nice high bounce, but they caught this one. They might run this one in. He's across the 10, the 5, and he takes a rolling dive into the end zone for a touchdown, but there is a flag all the way back here at about the 32-yard line. Looks like a sideline warning.
Yeah. That ball took the hop that you wanted to take, and they blocked our guy that runs down the sidelines, and that enabled him to. I mean, he made a nice catch. He jumped up high to catch that thing, and then usually PA has a guy circling around as a safety, and I guess the safety didn't see him catch it, thought it was going out of bounds, and I don't think he had to deviate from his path right down the sideline and straight to the end zone. Had a Bruin that almost caught him at about the 5-yard line, couldn't quite get there.
Looks like they're up to kick the PAT. They have Hayden Charlton out there, and the kick is up, and it's good. Now the score, Bruins still lead 26 to Liberty Christian 14.
Yeah, that was a turn. It'll be it'll be interesting to see how PA reacts after that. That can be a little bit of a wind out of the sails, when you go down, score you a touchdown, make it look easy, but then you give it right back on something that you're used to winning that. You're used to the game changing in your favor right there. So anxious to see how these guys react to that and how they stand up on this next drive. You could see that gave a little fire to the Liberty Christian sideline.
Oh, sure.
Guys got a little more pep in their step. Coach Witten's
probably
buzzing
what
around
caused
now.
The flag there for the sideline warning.
Got a little overly excited there because the Bruins have already gotten one of those onside kicks, and now they basically just kind of flipped it back to their end. If you get a touchdown, that kind of negates that first one. They were excited about that. Coach Witten's turned the hat around now. The shirt's untucked. He looked all good. The hat was forward, and he did that. And I think he didn't want to do that until the third or fourth quarter. He had to do it in the second quarter. So
here's Hayden Charlton to kick this one back. You have Kenny Jordan, Joe Hyman, both deep. Kenny Jordan receives it. He's across the 20, makes his way to the 25, the 30, the 35, and gets caught by the ankle right. Looks like they're going to call this one dead at the 37-yard line.
I wasn't going to pre-call back-to-back touchdowns on kickoffs, but if he would have hit the 50, I was going to call back-to-back kickoff touchdowns.
Sure. I think if he had hit the 50, there's nobody there that would have caught him.
Yeah, I think it would have been tough for him, that's for sure.
8 minutes, 31 seconds left in the first half of this one.
I stand corrected, by the way. That was not Witten who's already taken his hat off. That was their defensive coach that looks like Witten.
Okay.
They both look like tight ends. He's put it on forward now. He's at the 50-yard line. They're both like 6'6", 6'7" dudes. Right.
Pfizer looking to pass. A little bit of pressure. He's rolling out the left side. There's looks like going to be is that a block in the back? It's a PI roofing penalty flag out there at about the 32-yard line.
What? That's exactly what they're calling, is either hold or block in the back.
Yeah, on the Bruins.
Yeah.
So they're going to march this one backward.
I think they called it on Shannon McDaniel. And, you know, it's tough. And you hear it sometimes, but for the people that don't understand, you know, when your quarterback is in a drop back and he's standing on his spot and you know where the defender is, the offensive player doesn't know when the quarterback moves behind him.
Right.
So Charlie takes off left, the defender jumps left, and you just grab instinctively.
Right.
And that's what causes those holding plays.
Twins stacked on either end of the formation. There's the snap to Pfizer. He's looking to the right side, back to the left, down to the center, and that one is caught by Jalen McKinney at the 45-yard line. That gives him about a 6-yard gain from the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be second down, 4 yards to go for the Bruins.
PA's really working between the hashes. I mean, they're really throwing a lot of balls between the hashes and having a lot of success.
Quick handoff to Joe Hyman.
Who shoves Max again.
Max is just getting beat up out there, but
Joe's beating him up. It's not even the defenders
right.
beating him up.
But he did his part to make sure they got the first down on that play.
He did that. Max is a kid that just loves Bruin football, loves lining up and blocking every play, doesn't ask for anything.
Looks like Twins stacked on the right side. 2 receivers on the left. Quick pitch goes to Jalen McKinney. He runs back to the right side, and he is stopped at the 35-yard line. Let's see. I think that
close to a first down.
Looks like, no, they're marching. Oh, no, wait.
I think
now they're going to measure it.
Yeah, they're talking about measuring it.
He was stopped that time by Trey Turner, along with some help from C.J. Witten.
And the young man that did make the stop, Trey Turner, you know, he did. He had a lineman pull out and block on him. I thought it was a good block, and he fought the guard's block off and made the tackle. That was a really nice play by him to set that edge to make sure it wasn't a bigger gain.
7 minutes, 45 seconds left in the first half. The Bruins lead 26-14 here in Argyle, Texas, against the Liberty Christian Warriors. Pfizer in the shotgun. He has Hyman in a tailback position. Now man in motion. 2 receivers on the right. There's the quick snap, handoff to Hyman. He gives it back to Pfizer, and he throws it forward, and it's received by Tyson McCarroll. I think he was stopped right there at the 4-yard line by number 3. That's Trey Hampton of the Warriors. That puts him deep inside the Caldwell Toyota red zone.
That's going to make our guys older than me happy. The true flea flicker.
Oh, yeah.
Hand it to the tailback, pitch it back to the quarterback, and throw the ball down the field, the flea flicker.
It's good to see McCarroll back out there since he's been injured. This time, again, that's Jalen McKinney with the carry and another Bruin touchdown with 7 minutes, 5 seconds left in the first half of tonight's game.
You know, he wasn't going to score. He was outflanked by 2 defenders, and then he stutter-stepped and hit the next gear and made both of them miss and got to the pylon.
Bruins now lead. They extend their lead to 32-14. They're going to set up for a 2-point conversion once again. Pfizer has 4 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right. Here come the Cowbells. There's the snap. He's looking to the left side, passes out there, and it's caught by Tyson McCarroll once again, extending that lead to 36-14.
A little delayed route by the second receiver from the outside right there. Everybody else runs their guy off, and once they clear, he just runs a slant underneath, and it's a nice little easy throw and catch after that.
I may have misspoke. Was it 32 before? Yeah, okay. 34-14. Well, there you go. Accidents, they never happen on this broadcast, ever. I'm always correct.
You know, you need an accident insurance sponsor. So
I do.
accidents never happen, but if you do, this insurance sponsor takes care of your accident. So you've got room for more there.
Jay Snyder Insurance can protect you from your accidents. Be sure to call Jay for all your insurance needs.
There you go. That was. I think he got a freebie right there.
Right. He is one of our poster sponsors at home.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Nice. Well, PA responded well after that onside kick run back, just like you'd want to. Little stress on that drive. They were in first down or second down, I think, the entire way. I don't think they faced a third down.
From Norisha Woods, she says, tell Coach Kelley his favorite PA and PC mom says hello and get me a picture of Jason Witten. LOL.
What a nice run back. Nice
Seriously.
run back right there by Christian Driver. The son of, I don't know, well, the NFL fans out there, Donald Driver is a great receiver for the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
And that's Christian Driver, his son. Really good.
Very
really,
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he was finally stopped by Patton Wicker. Looks like, yeah, Patton got picked up and carried on his back, it looks like. I thought they were calling a timeout for a second there, but no. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. They're on the Bruins' 31-yard line. 6:58 left in the first half.
Looks to be a little bit of confusion by the officials.
Yeah.
They're trying to sort it out.
I think they're arguing over whose ball to use.
They said, looked like he said penalty on the Bruins is what I just heard.
Oh.
But I didn't see a mark off a penalty, nor did I see a flag.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh, they are
excuse
marking
me.
one off. Yeah, me too. Oh, 15 too. Some sort
Wow,
of
it must have been
unsportsmanlike or a face
personal,
mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Not cool. That puts them inside the red zone.
Wow.
So now that after they assess that penalty, they've placed it at the 18-yard line. The white hat says, hang on a second, hang on. Okay, now we can play.
Every time PA tries to pull away, Liberty Christian makes a play to get them right back in the game.
Certainly do. There's the snap. He's looking to the left side. It gets tipped. Almost intercepted. Was that JoJo?
JoJo Osma.
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
Yeah, almost right place, the right time. Nice job by the PA defender to get his hands up and knock that down because it was going to be complete out here for at least an 8-yard gain.
Right.
And he was still in the open field to be tackled. People love seeing those defensive backs dive and knock down the ball, but that lineman just sticking his hand up, knocking it down is worth every bit the same amount.
Right. Hello from Houston. Let's go, Joe Hyman. We're watching you. Love you. That's from his family. Specifically, I think that's Marcia. Pass is out there, and it's complete. I think you actually lost a yard on that reception.
Nice open field tackle out there, too.
They marked it off 2 yards. He was stopped that time by Hunt Harrison. Immediately wrapped up.
Yeah, Hunt's done a nice job on the edges out there. He made one second play of the game, and then again right there in the open field. If he doesn't, there's a lot of room behind him.
Here's another familiar name for you, Coach. Thomas Vaughn says, how about those Bruins?
Thomas Vaughn. You got to love Thomas Vaughn. Hard-working young man.
Another completed pass. And it looks like he might have picked up those 2 yards they lost in the last play. So it'll be 4th down and 10 yards to go for the Warriors.
PA's doing a nice job on those quick passes out in the horizontal out on the edges. And they're coming up and making those open field tackles, and they're getting more guys there. So if they break the first one, they're not going to get much after that. It's a great job, but that's what PA's known for. I talked to a coach today, and he said, the PA teams have always just played harder than everybody we've ever played, and they're just continuing that now.
13 seconds on the play clock. Counting down, they don't seem terribly worried about it. They have 3 receivers on the right, 2 to the left, going for it at 4th and 11. Looking back to the sidelines, and that looks like they're going to call a timeout there at the last second.
Well, Bruins had 7 in the box, and I think they saw a blitz, and I don't think that Liberty Christian knew how to pick that up. Probably a wise timeout by Liberty Christian and Jason Witten there, because I don't think the quarterback was going to have any time to throw that ball.
Well, let's take a look again at our live fan feedback, just because that's all I have in front of me at the moment. Let's see. Go Bruins, bring home that win. Watching from Little Rock, that is Brittany Rose, Christian's aunt. Good to have you with us.
The fun uncle.
The fun uncle, thank you, Coach. He says, go Charlie and Andrew Pfizer. Let's see, enjoying seeing the game broadcast at a viewing party at the Celix. All right, everybody say hey. Okay, somebody send me a video of that. I just got to see it. Let's see, there's my dad. He says, this is great. Y'all are doing great. Thanks, Pop.
Coach, what's the defense doing this shift later? We trying to change the outside contain? No, what we're trying to do is confuse the interior defensive line so they make a mistake and leave one of our guys on the interior part of the line just free, absolutely free, and it's actually worked a couple times.
Absolutely great question. Thank you very much for that. Here is 4th and 11 for the Warriors from the Bruins 19-yard line. There's the snap. Stepping back to pass, lots of pressure. He's got a man in the end zone, but that pass sails all the way through the end zone. That ball will turn over on downs.
Yeah, going back to that question, it does actually change the contain guy some, but that's not the intent. That's not the intent of it.
Okay.
Nice job by the Bruins holding after a kickoff got ran back quite a ways, and then that penalty putting them inside the red zone. The Bruins had to stand up and play 4 straight really nice plays, and they held them 2 yards the next 4 plays.
You know, this is an interesting question. Of course, I mentioned earlier that the Gorman family they always listen on the radio broadcast here in the stadium. We have that always going whenever we're on location. So Sarah Gorman asks, have 2 former Cowboys ever coached against each other in Texas high school football? That's an interesting question.
Oh, that is an interesting question. I'm sure. Actually, I wouldn't doubt it, because when I lived down here, even in the '90s, and it's unique to say the least. A little trick play going on right there. Handed it off. Who handed it back to Charlie? Looked for a couple deep guys, but Liberty Christian had it covered. But back in the '90s, when those guys get out of coaching, a lot of times they go and either volunteer, assistant, or in this case, Jason and Anthony both being head coaches. Find their way back to the game, and that's happened quite a bit. Yeah,
absolutely. You come back to what you love. All right, Pfizer in the shotgun. He has 3 on the right, 2 to the left. That snap went directly to Joe, and he's across the 40, the 50, the 40, the 20, the 10, touchdown, just like that. And there's not a flag on the field.
Same play they ran a while ago for 19 yards. Joe direct snap to him. He fakes a handoff to Charlie, who really is just popping time until the backside guard and tackle pull, and the guard kicks out. Tackle leads up for the next man left in the hole, and Joe's always going to find the hole if there is one. And then, that kind of speed that you and I probably have never felt how fast that feels like.
No.
It just if you don't tackle him after 20 yards, you're not going to tackle Joe.
No. Fantastic play there. That's Pfizer, not Vaughn. Pfizer in the shotgun. He's looking for a receiver, and I think he found one. Yes, he did.
Jalen
McKinney for the 2-point conversion.
Wouldn't you like to know? I tell our fast guys all the time. I would, if I were y'all, I would run fast all the time just to see just to watch how fast the ground runs underneath me.
Right?
I used to tell Joe that all the time too. It'd be so awesome to run that fast.
Just to see what that looks like.
Yeah, to look down. It's just flying by. I have to look out a car window to see it that fast.
Let's see. I'm sorry I'm tuning in late, but could you please go over the scoring plays and offensive stats, please? Go Bruins. I tell you what you can do. I've got this set up. You hit pause, and then find that little scrolly thing at the bottom, roll it all the way to the left, and then you've got it's a real-time replay of what's already happened. I'm being smart, I know. I'm just kidding. But you can actually roll it back and watch the rest of the game from the beginning. I would tell you what happened, but I'm going to claim medical ailments. I don't remember. It's just a fact. All right, here is Von Seelig. He has it again on a tee, but it's kind of reclining there. This time he kicks it again. Not quite high of a bounce, but looked like one of the Bruins got a hand on it before. It looked like I think it was caught by Coach Lucas.
Yeah, we call that the jet copter, and Vaughn is very good. He was got a couple of those in last year's state championship game against Little Rock Christian.
So, can I ask?
Oh, overtime, Danny?
Yeah. So, okay, I'm guessing overtime here. Is that who you're with, Danny?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good to go. So, I'm guessing they're still following you?
Yeah, they are.
All right.
Third year, I guess. This time they just moved to South Carolina.
You're just used to having a camera over your shoulder
all
the time
honestly,
now.
I don't think about it. And they always send, you remember, he tripped, hand off to the running back, he trips and falls down, but there was a host of Bruins there. He wasn't going anywhere anyway.
Right.
But no, they're finishing up their second season, dropping those shows, and
Sure.
and they're filming the third one at the same time. But they've always done a really nice job of sending good guys.
Oh, sure.
To stay with the kids and kind of make their home with us for a while. They've
Yep.
sent another one. This is Danny. We call him Danny Overtime.
Overtime
Danny.
Okay.
And but he's fit right in with the guys and the coaches and stuff, and you kind of forget they're there.
I love it. All right, there's the snap. Pass quickly is complete to Quentin Brown, and he is stopped at the Warriors' 45-yard line. He was stopped immediately that time by Patton Wicker.
Gain of 8 puts them in because they were in 2nd and 15 or so. It puts them in a very manageable third down, which they need a little momentum here, and it wouldn't hurt them to go score because this game's about to be in a place where they might not be able to come back from.
Well, I asked one of the officials just so that I would know before the broadcast, and this is not, we talked about this before. This is not baseball, so I'm not worried about superstitions. But I asked one of the officials. I said, "Hey, do you have a?" Wow, there's a lot of folks trying to get that tackle made, but they finally picked up the first down and then a couple more yards. But I asked them, "Do you have a sportsmanship rule, or some people would call it a mercy rule in Texas?" And they said, "Oh yeah. In this league, we have if you're 40 points up in the second half." Then it's a running clock.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well,
so
it's
just
very
5
similar.
more than 5 more than ours.
Yeah.
That was a nice catch right there and run. It was Cade Harkey, I think is how you say the name, and he caught, and just 2 guys were there to tackle him. He just ran through those guys and got some extra yards.
Yeah. They faked me on this one. I thought the ball was back here, and they moved it forward. So they picked up about 4 yards on that one, so it'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, they went empty again. He just did a little quarterback draw, made it look like he's going to throw it, and receivers ran out, and then left a little hole up the middle, ran and made them 5 yards. I think they're just trying to string together some good plays right now to get their guys some confidence, which is a great job of the play caller. Doing a lot more huddling up right now, trying to slow down the game a little bit. I don't think you want to get into a fast-paced game with PA, and they've realized that.
There's the snap. It bounces off the turf, picks it up, and was able to get the pass off, but it is not received. That looks like that was intended for Quentin Brown.
And that was a nice job by the quarterback. That could have been a turnover, a scoop and score for PA, and instead
Easily.
He picks it up quickly and not only avoids the sack, actually had a chance to complete it.
Coach, another question for you. He says, does this defense always bring a 4th guy?
Always. I would say 99% of the time. And that's something that we designed a long time ago when Todd Wood was here and we first sat down and designed this, is we always wanted to have somebody come and them to account for somebody. This time they bring 5. Almost get there, and they ran a little out route up top, and he actually broke open, but the pressure causes as good a pass defense as a pass defender does a lot of times, and it certainly did there. The quarterback had to throw it off his back foot for an out route on the far side of the field, and he wasn't able to throw it where he needed to.
Well, that one was intended for Christian Driver, and that brings up 4th down, 6 yards to go for the Warriors from the Bruins' 40-yard line. And another fan that says, so proud of Coach Lucas, the staff and the team for continuing what you started. Well done. Always a great game to watch. That's from Ronnie at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, and Ronnie knows. Ronnie had a son that played for us, and Jack did an awesome job for us. Real proud of what he was able to do. A little story about Ronnie. The last time I talked to him, if you remember the what do we call it, Snowmageddon?
Oh,
here
yeah.
we had.
Yeah.
We go down, and I'm driving around wishing there was some place open for food, and I'm in my 4-wheel drive, and I go to McDonald's. Nobody's there.
Sure.
I drive through Chick-fil-A, and it's shut down. I knew it, but I went through the drive-through, and Ronnie's in there working. And I'm like, Ronnie, there's no cars in the parking lot.
Right,
Ronnie had walked to work to
Oh,
get
my
some work
gosh.
done. And I'm like, that's Chick-fil-A in a nutshell right there. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, these
Yeah.
guys are always getting it done,
Right.
And so I thought that was interesting. But
That timeout was brought to you by Chick-fil-A. No, I'm just kidding.
it really wasn't, but those guys do always work at Chick-fil-A. They're doing a good job.
Well,
My daughter works there, too, so I guess
I
I'm
was going to
bragging
say,
about it.
as Christina will attest, I can't stay away.
My daughter once told me, Dad, if they didn't pay me, I'd work there for free. I said, honey, don't tell them.
Don't ever tell
Don't
anybody
tell 'em.
that, because they will take advantage of it. Trust me. I know.
4th down.
There's the snap. Pass is out there, and it is incomplete. Looks like some of the fans were looking for a flag there, but I did not see any pass interference.
No, and they had a man open, but again, that pressure and that blitz by Coach Taylor, they're getting to him, and they're getting to him quickly, and he doesn't have a chance to step in there and throw the football, because they did have a man on a crossing route that actually would have picked up the first down if he would have been able to get it to him. They need to move the chains, guys.
Some
there we
some
did.
fans
We're good.
over
We're
in
good.
Mississippi cheering on Patton Wicker say, "Go Patton," all the way from Mississippi. Thanks for joining us. All right, here's Pfizer in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. There's the snap, little play action to Hyman. Still running out the right side, lots of pressure. He's going to run that one out of bounds for about a 3-yard loss.
If he could have seen, Jalen McKinney's defender fell down. and that probably would have been a pretty easy touchdown.
Sure.
But he was under heavy duress. Charlie was actually having to run for his life a little bit back there.
Yeah, he was. So this will bring up 2nd down and 14 yards to go for the Bruins. 2 minutes, 16 seconds left in the first half. The Bruins lead 42-14. Same set as before. There's the snap. Quick pass goes across the left side to John Mark Charette, and he makes a lateral. Who is that?
I think that's Will Hawkins, but I think the lateral was forward.
Was it?
Yeah. I saw it before I even saw that flag.
Yeah, there is. Okay, I didn't see the flag.
Yeah,
at the 40.
he pitched it slightly forward. I think Will just got a little anxious to get. He saw that was going to be open for the score right there.
Sure. I tend to give them the benefit of the doubt probably more often than they should. You can pull as much as that as you need.
Okay.
There's about 12 feet of that cord in front of you. Yeah, that almost was reminiscent of Hunter Henry's miracle.
Anytime I see a hook and lateral, I think of that.
Yeah.
I think of Hunter flailing it wildly backwards and the Razorbacks making that first down, going on to win that game.
Sure. I want to say happy birthday to Mike Davis.
Oh, love Mike Davis. For a long time, he's worked, done great things for the police department, now working for PA.
And from what I hear, he was the greatest get-back coach PA has ever had.
He's a good one, yeah. He said it with authority.
Big shift from the Bruins. Now he has 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Hyman in the backfield. There's the snap. Handoff to Hyman. He quickly hands it to Pfizer. He threw me off there. And he throws it out there, and they say that was clean.
Well, I think they're, if anything, they thought, we're not going to call that uncatchable, and the Bruins are up by a lot. So
Sure. That was intended for John Mark Charette.
This is a team playing with confidence. If you run a hook and lateral on 2nd down, on 3rd down you run a double reverse trick play, long pass, and you leave yourself with 4th and 15. So that's a team that's confident in their ability to make 4th and 15 right here.
All right, looks like the Bruins have called a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. We'll be right back with more Bruin football on PA Live.
Senior Charlie Pfizer is our Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week. Charlie leads by always doing the right thing, working hard, and pushing those around him to be their best. Charlie excels both on and off the field. He is a guy that if you ask to do something, you can trust it will be done right and at the highest level. Please join us in congratulating Charlie Pfizer, the Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week.
Welcome back to the Ron Jones RE/MAX Affiliates Realty Studio. Let's get back to the show.
All right, we're back. Who was that again?
Jason Walton.
Jason Walton, you think you're so funny. Coach has got your number.
Number 1 cheer dad, and he tried to pawn it off on somebody else.
I've asked him.
It says go Bruin cheer.
Yeah.
Charlie with a long pass for the 4th down conversion.
Oh, and
just over the outstretched hands of Zach
Biagioni. Yeah. He was hoping for it, just reaching out and leaning into it, but he couldn't bring it in. Yeah, he or somebody else has been texting me that for a couple of years now, and finally I just saw Mark Henry at some event, and I said, hey, is that really you? Did you text me? And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm just going to quit saying it then.
Yeah.
So let's see. Tell Coach Kelley if he needs any help with his analysis, we're available. That's from Sam and Scott Hilburn.
I need Sam and Scott Hilburn with me. I need those guys with me.
There you go.
I'd take those guys into any dark alley, any fight, any war, anything.
That says a lot right there. I think
Yeah.
if you guys just record that, put that along with your resume when you're applying for a job, that probably gets you quite a bit. Well, that pass was intended, looked like number 21 in that one. That's Quentin Brown. That is one of his favored receivers. It's incomplete, though.
Bruins defense turned it up these last couple. After that onside kick touchdown, I'm not sure. And then the long kickoff, they got a first down via penalty, but I don't think they've given up a first down in quite a while. Now, Liberty Christian playing a couple of guys both ways. I'm sure their guys are getting tired. They played a lot of plays in this first half.
1 minute, 25 seconds left in the first half. There's the pass. It's going deep. And, oh, no, you got to hate that. That receiver wants that one back. Gosh, he had it in his hands, in the palm of his hands, right there at the 5, and no one anywhere near him, but it just bounced out of his hands and hit the turf.
That is one of those that he'll remember that one for a while. He'll remember that when he's in the shower tonight. He'll remember that when he wakes up in the morning. Gosh, I had a perfect throw right in my hands.
Yeah, those are tough. Well, love this one. We're a Liberty family listening and watching your broadcast on YouTube. You guys are doing an awesome job announcing. We are very impressed. Thank you so much. That's great.
We appreciate that. Just the football's a hard game. It's fun to highlight the kids when they make plays on either side of the ball, on either team.
Oh, lots of pressure, but he gets that pass off. Unfortunately, it's caught, but it's caught out of bounds.
Again, under a lot of pressure. It's tough. He didn't get to throw it when he wanted to.
Well, just to have the presence of mind, you have someone bringing you down by the ankle, by the waist, and he still stands, almost stands up straight from the upper half of his body and throws a good enough pass that it was caught.
Oh, it was caught. He just came down out of bounds.
Right.
He just had to throw it a little later than he needed to.
That is incredible.
Yeah, that was really good. And, the defender had 2 hands wrapped around him.
Yeah.
Pulling him to the ground.
Yeah. All right, now he has 2 receivers on the left, 2 on the right, man in motion, quick handoff this time, and he's going to pass it back to the original quarterback, and he is sacked. Another tackle for loss, and here come the flags.
I think they're going to get a celebration penalty, maybe. Although he threw the flag to a spot, so usually it means he's trying to mark it from a spot. So I may be wrong there, but look, the Bruins got a little excited. It was a pass throwback, and he had a man down the field. The quarterback was going to throw it again too, and he was covered, and the Bruins did a great job on it. But this has got to be. They're waving it off.
They're waving it off.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's really a nice job by an official on the other side of the field with whatever they saw.
Yeah.
Saying, I think you missed it because you were looking at this action. You saw part of it, and
right.
And it's hard for those guys to admit that, hey, maybe I didn't see the whole thing.
Sure.
And you can come in and correct me if you need to, and that's a great job working together.
It takes a high level of professionalism to admit when you're wrong at any point.
Absolutely, it does.
1st and 10 for the Bruins from their own 45-yard line. Looks like almost like an IJK package. Up and it stretched that. Lots of pressure on Pfizer. He's running out the left side, and he's going to run this one out of bounds. Might pick up 1 yard. Looks like it kind of fell apart. It looked like he was trying to aim it toward the left side there.
Yeah, he had a guy down the middle and a guy on the left. I think he looked at both those guys and really, smart to decide not to throw the ball. Sometimes when you're up like you are in the game, it's easy just to want to throw the balls and do that, but Charlie's still playing good quarterback and trying to do the things the right way.
There's the snap to Pfizer, rolling out the right side. Quick pitch to, is that Jalen McKinney?
It is.
He makes his way forward about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down. And looks like 6 to go.
Charlie had the option to pitch it underneath to Jalen or outside to Joe right there. You just play that outside. You play that outside linebacker and pick one or the other.
Rolls out to the left side. 3 receivers downfield on the left. There's the pass, and it is caught.
Dropped.
No, it is dropped. He was hit just as soon as his fingertips touched the ball. Again, some incredibly tight pass defense by these Warriors.
Yeah, Charlie was open for a second, and great recovery time. I mean, that guy showed some speed catching up.
And it looked like he kind of gave him that moment, kind of stutter step just a little bit, just to let him touch the ball and then make the tackle.
And it looked like he had it in his hands for a second, but then the contact immediately, and it's tough to hang on to that ball.
Sure. This will bring up 4th down, 6 yards to go for the Bruins. 31 seconds left in the first half. 2 seconds on the play clock. There's the snap. Pfizer under pressure. He rolls out the left side. We're going to run backwards. Little help in the blocking there. He's just all over the place.
Jalen McKinney open.
Sends it down and
comes up with it.
Does he really? Oh, my gosh.
That was actually going to be a screen. And the PA lineman, it looked like it was going to be a screen, came back and got behind the line of scrimmage so he could throw it downfield.
The
And then when he was scrambling around, Jalen McKinney and another receiver took off deep. The defenders for Liberty Christian, it looked like they saw the second receiver but didn't see Jalen. So they're just jogging along behind him, and Jalen's behind them, and Charlie was able to get it deep enough to get it where Jalen could have a chance to catch it. And he came back and made the play.
I just can't imagine trying to think through all of that under that much pressure. That's just incredible. Having a great game out there.
I think at that point you run for your life, hope you find enough time to now play football for a second.
Right.
And he was able to do it that time.
What is it that Nathaniel Bird would tell me right now? It's navigate, aerate. I don't know. It's one of the three things that you do as a pilot in the middle of an emergency.
Right.
Yeah. See, I can't even remember them now.
Well, let's not put me and you in a pilot seat in an
Right.
emergency.
No, that's not going to happen. Now, I bring up Nathaniel. He earned, I don't know if you know this, he earned his pilot's license last year.
That is so awesome.
And over this past summer, earned an IFR rating, which means he's instrument rated. So now he can actually fly on instruments alone.
That's
through,
awesome.
fog and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I've been able to fly
Senior in high school, flying planes.
Fly with Mr. Hatcher a few times. He lets
Sure.
me get up in the front and learn all that stuff.
Pfizer looking to find someone, and he does. That's John Mark Charette in the end zone for the touchdown with 10 seconds left in the first half of this game.
They put themselves in a situation up 35 now where when you were talking earlier about that, whatever the sportsmanship rule is in Texas, it's 40.
Yeah.
And Arkansas right now, if they kick the extra point, which they're doing, that would be it almost going into halftime. It would be 35. That would
Sure,
be it. And it would
that's
come
it.
out and it would roll in the second half. But
Yep.
but down in Texas, I think you said you'd learned that it was a 40-point rule.
That's right.
So it gives Liberty Christian still a chance because nobody in Arkansas has ever
Oh.
come back from the sportsmanship rule.
Let's see. Did they call it? Yes, they did. The defense jumped offsides right there at the last second. Again, it's one of those deals where the Bruins do it time and again. But I think they're going to – we'll see how they assess this. The offside against the Warriors is declined, and the kick is good. So the Bruins lead is now 49-14 over the Liberty Christian Warriors. And, of course, as expected, here is Nathaniel Bird. Aviate, navigate, communicate. There it is. Thank you, Nate.
Jason Walton's getting on to me for selling them out, he said. Jason.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
what is that if I did it again, a double sellout?
Right. Yeah, it is.
Love you, Jason.
Yeah, love you, mean it. So in the second half, the Bruins, of course, received in the first half. So to start the second half, we'll just put it this way: the Bruins will be kicking to start the second half. Who will have the ball to start it? Well, that time will tell. Question comes from Matt Johnston to you, Coach. He says, do you love when the opponent tries to match PA style? And what's one of the things that we talked about on the broadcast time and time again over the years is that when we play opponents, knowing that they don't typically, onside kick or go for it on fourth down, but when they play PA, they'll do those things, thinking that, I'm just guessing that their thought is let's fight fire with fire. Do you love it when they do that? What's your thought?
Well, you would think if they're doing that, they think we're a good team and they've got to pull out every stop. But if you do that, and you think that's the best way to beat a good team, why wouldn't you do it against everybody? I've always wanted that. Now, I don't like it when they do it. I want them to punt it on fourth down.
Sure.
I don't want them to onside kick it.
Quick handoff, and he is up the middle, picks up about 7 yards before he is brought down. I think that was Joe Osment on the tackle.
Yeah, they're just
And
going to run that one out.
Is the end of the first half of this game. The Bruins lead 49-14. All right.
Good half of football by PA right there, coming all the way down to Texas.
It certainly is.
And we've got a nice streak going against Texas teams.
All right. Well, as I mentioned before, we have a 24-minute halftime tonight. Apparently here that's normal. They have an option to make it 28 minutes as needed.
Goodness.
But so we have a great halftime show for you. Don't forget that
This Friday Night Spotlight is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota. Pulaski Academy would like you to join us in recognizing our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Kate epitomizes the core value student. She is a gifted writer, tenacious lacrosse player, and a kind soul, all rolled into one person. Kate is a true role model for all students at Pulaski Academy. Congratulations to our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Our core value student of the week is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota, just another way Caldwell cares.
Sarah always wants to be connected, and she often tweets or texts while driving. How far will Sarah go while looking away from the road? More than an entire football field. Driving the length of a football field without looking at the road is selfish driving. Caring drivers respect everyone's safety. What kind of driver will you be?
Senior Charlie Pfizer is our Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week. Charlie leads by always doing the right thing, working hard, and pushing those around him to be their best. Charlie excels both on and off the field. He is a guy that if you ask to do something, you can trust it will be done right and at the highest level. Please join us in congratulating Charlie Pfizer, the Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week.
It's time for the Ackles Carpet One halftime show. At Ackles Carpet One, we make it beautiful. For less, visit them online at AcklesCarpet1.com.
The Pulaski Academy Performing Arts Department will be presenting Puffs by Matt Cox on October 9th and 10th.
So Puffs by Matt Cox is a delightful comedy that focuses on 7 years at a certain wizarding school of magic and magic. And yes, you might be aware of one child who attended such a wizarding school, but this show focuses on Wayne Hopkins, who was also at this wizarding school. And so we follow his journey through 7 very eventful years really quickly throughout the show, and he is sorted into the Puffs house. And so we get to learn about the Puffs and who they are, and they may not be the smartest or the bravest or the most sly of all of the students, but they have a lot of heart. And so we watch their comedic journey as they learn all kinds of life lessons and travel through their years of wizarding school.
My favorite part about this play is definitely the comedy. I mean, there's just like every page, there's something funny about it.
You can't go a minute in the play without laughing, and I think that's definitely true for us as well. It's just so much fun.
It's been a long time since we've done something really this ridiculous, and I think everyone can enjoy a good laugh right now. The set is a big challenge because we follow 7 years of these students' life, and so there's 800 different locations. And there's also about 1,000 props in the show. And so we've never done a show that was quite this prop heavy, and one where my stagecraft students and I actually crafted and designed the props. So that's been a big challenge, but it's prop comedy. And so you've got to have really specific things and really specific moments. And we might spend 3 hours working on a prop that's on stage for 1 second, but it's totally worth it.
Anything that is slapstick and silly and just a riotous good time, I'm there for it. And this play is all of those things. But as I said in the description, it also has a lot of heart. It's very endearing. So to have that comedy and to be able to laugh and then feel something really sincere in the very next moment, I mean, I think that's what watching a play is all about.
I just wanted to be a part of Lion King Jr. But I think the reason I stayed is really the community of it all. Like, so many people all coming together to do one collective project. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, There's a phrase that you're bitten by the theater bug. So once you fall in love with theater, you can't fall out of love with it. And that was definitely the case for me. I started in middle school, and I've had no desire to leave since. Pulaski Academy Theater Department just has this amazing community. And theater is really just a place where you can learn more about yourself and other people. You learn so many skills. You learn how to communicate, how to empathize. And it's just been something that I've never wanted to stop doing.
Students can start taking a one-semester introductory class in 6th grade, and then from 7th through 12th grade, they can take theater all year long. We have curriculum for every year, 7th through 12th grade. So it's really cool to be able to meet a child when they're around 11 or 12 years old, and then to be able to watch them grow up and learn and grow in theater across all those years.
And in 7th and 8th grade, they can take Intro to Technical Theater, where we actually start with theater history, and we do hands-on projects as we study theater as it progresses through the ages until we get to modern theater, where we cover all aspects of design. And starting in 9th grade, they can take stagecraft. Right now, I have 3 levels of stagecraft, and they can really take it as many times as they want.
Puffs kicks off our season. We have a magical start to the season, and that's going to continue all year. So following Puffs, we are always excited to be a part of Frosty Follies, and we'll be announcing that short play very soon, so the students will know soon what we're doing. But then getting into the spring semester, we are going to open up with Frozen Junior as our middle school musical, and Alex and Justin are 2 of our senior student directors for that production. So we'll have a wonderfully magical time with that show. And then to close out our year in April, our big spring musical will be The Wizard of Oz. So we are really excited to play in all of these magical realms. One of our mantras in our department is that theater is magic, and magic is the theater. And we truly believe that it can transform you, whether you're an actor, a crew member, an audience member, you leave changed. And that's one of the things that we love the most about theater.
It was the middle of rehearsal. Just the middle of Mrs. Posey was saying something, and she just says, "I have the best job in the world." And I have never met a pair of theater teachers who are more dedicated and passionate than the Poseys. They put in countless hours, like every meticulous detail of all of the shows is simply perfect, and it's because they care so much. And I think Pulaski Academy is so incredibly lucky to have them here.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Again, Puffs will be showing in the Murphy Theater on the Pulaski Academy campus on October 9th and 10th. Don't miss it. I personally guarantee you're going to love this show.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner!
Go?
Excellent. Soccer is fun. Yeah, I saw you guys out there. We're the family. Help out. Yeah! Oh, I thought you were on my team.
My name's Kyle Vaughn, and I'm the English department chair and an upper school English teacher at Pulaski Academy, and I'm the director of our writing center as well. PA's Writing Center is designed to help any of our writers at any stage of the writing process, and this could be for any paper that they're writing for English or social science classes. And we also help lots of students with college essays, scholarship essays, or other essay contests that they might be participating in. I am a writer myself, and I think that prompted me to really see and feel the need for our writing center, because it's not just struggling writers that need help with writing. We're certainly here to help anyone that is struggling, you're going to have writer's block, or sometimes just the inability to get a bird's eye view picture of what's going on in your writing. I've hit that many times, and building a writing community is a huge part of making sure that your writing speaks to an audience effectively and creatively. And whether it's is a creative piece or a research paper, you always want to be connecting with real human beings as a writer. The Writing Center, certainly helps with grammar or organization or things like that. But it really helps to bounce ideas off of a real human being, so that you're not just feeding it into Grammarly or something simple like that. You're really getting the whole picture when you come into the Writing Center. For most of our appointments, they are individual and one-on-one conferences with students. We have had some workshops over the years. Groups of students come in together who are working through the same problem. Maybe they're kind of all working through their thesis statement together. We also offer an increasing amount of writer visits that we're helping to coordinate with writers coming into some of our courses, like our creative writing course, or just in X period to speak with students who are interested in a variety of topics. One thing that's important to understand about writing is that it's never just about one subject or one emotion. Whether you're interested in science, math, social science, poetry, immigration, visual arts, we've had writers come in that have touched upon all of those subjects. And that really, again, speaks to the idea that the Writing Center is built on community and not just an editing service. We're definitely here to support students who might be struggling with grammatical concepts, but most of our students actually find the greatest help when they come in before they have ever even written a word down on any paper yet. Brainstorming, talking through their ideas, and helping to make them conscious before you get to the writing process. And that's the first stage, making what you want to say conscious as a writer. Especially during the first quarter, we see almost every senior for their college essay or scholarship essays or supplemental essays. And I remember one particular success story from 2 years ago when a student came in with a very touching story about her mother having cancer. And writing about such big topics can be difficult. Giving it the shape that it needs, giving it the right voice, the right form, because as a writer, it can be hard to have perspective on such a topic. And through the Writing Center, we were able to come up with an effective motif, is what we call it, to help organize the essay. And it made the essay so beautifully complex, yet clear, that it took on a whole new dimension that neither she nor I were expecting. And it ended up, of course, I'm sure it wasn't the only deciding factor, but she did get into the college of her choice. But she has since revisited PA and stopped by to say she remembers that as a very important part of her college application process, and a part where she really felt like once she nailed that essay, she really had it in hand. Working with any writer involves a lot of one-on-one consultation. It's not the kind of thing that you can just lecture about and leave be. Writers need individual attention, and that's one of the beautiful things about working at a place like Pulaski Academy, is that we create situations where that kind of one-on-one mentorship can happen. Our instructors definitely do it throughout the year in their normal classroom experiences. For example, our 10th grade teacher, Callie Birch, already during first quarter, she has met with every single one of her students individually on their writing. The Writing Center is there to support our teachers in that process too. As I mentioned, we are looking to build the Writing Center as sort of a community-minded area of PA, and we're hoping to expand that. We would like to bring more writers in, have more appointment availability in the future, beyond just before and after school, as it currently is right now, and even get students involved in mentoring their peers, which is often a very effective way to understand audience as a writer. Our Writing Center also has a digital platform through Google Classroom, and we post resources for students there. For example, there are college essay writing resources there. There are resources on some of those grammatical concepts that can be difficult. They also use Google Classroom to sign up for the one-on-one conferences that they will then come in person to, which at this point happen here in my classroom with myself. And we are hoping to expand that to include other professionals, other students that will aid in that mentoring process in the future.
For more information on how you can leverage the Pulaski Academy Writing Center to help you succeed academically, reach out to Mr. Vaughn. Senior Charlie Pfizer is our Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week. Charlie leads by always doing the right thing, working hard, and pushing those around him to be their best. Charlie excels both on and off the field. He is a guy that if you ask to do something, you can trust it will be done right and at the highest level. Please join us in congratulating Charlie Pfizer, the Bowen Heffley Orthopedic Student Athlete of the Week.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This Friday Night Spotlight is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota. Pulaski Academy would like you to join us in recognizing our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Kate epitomizes the core value student. She is a gifted writer, tenacious lacrosse player, and a kind soul, all rolled into one person. Kate is a true role model for all students at Pulaski Academy. Congratulations to our core value student of the week, Kate Martin. Our core value student of the week is brought to you by Caldwell Toyota, just another way Caldwell cares.
All right, welcome back here to Argyle, Texas, where the Pulaski Academy Bruins currently lead in halftime against the Warriors of Liberty Christian School. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Interesting fun fact, about lots of differences between states and football. One, we had this interesting 7:30 kickoff time. Well, that was it's fine, it's different. Also, the 24-minute halftime, interesting. Here's another one I just learned: they don't tack on another 3 minutes for warm-ups. So there you go. So once the clock hits 0, and I don't know if our coaches know that. Okay, good. Here comes the team. All right, good deal. So I think we're okay. So they're out there to warm up right now. So in the meantime, let me spend just a moment to take you around the horn, and we'll see what other scores I can find around the 5A conference here or back home in Arkansas. Let's see. The first one out of the gate is the one that's really got me going, what? And Christina and I were both looking at this one. Whitehall currently winning at Little Rock Christian 14-10 in the fourth quarter. That's insane. Going over to Maumelle. Maumelle tonight is hosting BB. Maumelle currently leading that one 21-10 at halftime. These are, of course, coming to you courtesy of FearlessFriday.com. Also in 5A football, Jacksonville currently winning at Watson Chapel 22-14 in the third quarter. Trying to keep up with these as the page refreshes on me. Let's see. Batesville falling short to Paragould is falling short to Batesville. The Pioneers winning that game 23-0 at halftime. Let's see who else we have. Brookland and Nettleton are playing tonight. Nettleton winning that one in the third quarter 27-7. See who else I can find. Valley View shutting out Forest City at home. That's 37-0 in the fourth quarter. So good on them. Looks like we might not dodge the rain that we thought. I just got an alert on my phone saying, hey, the rain is going to start here in just a few minutes. So, Popeye, if you're listening on your microphone here, I just got an alert that says we might be expecting rain at 9:24. So you might throw a poncho on the camera there for a second. In the meantime, let's see who else I can see around the state. Central Arkansas Christian, of course, that's a 4A game, but we have lots of friends over there. So Little Rock Mills winning that game 8-0 in the second quarter. I think that's all of the 5A scores. Let's see one more time. I did, yeah. BB is, like I said, Harrison. There's a good one. Yeah, Harrison winning at Alma. Harrison has a lead 42-14 in the fourth quarter. Valonia winning at Farmington. Valonia has – oh, okay, he heard me. All right, good. Valonia 43, Farmington 22 in the third quarter. Let's see who else I've got. Got about 1 minute left. And the Bruins – did they come out and actually warm up? I was reading scores. Did you see? I didn't see it either. That's all right. All right. So let's shift gears for just a moment. I want to say congratulations to the Bruin tennis team. They are, boys and girls, are conference champions as of this week. Fantastic job by the tennis program there. Just doing an excellent job of bringing home another conference win. The Lady Bruin golfers finished 5th in the state tournament. Anna Kate Nichols shot under 5 at 67 to win the individual title and will play for the overall state title in 2 weeks at Pleasant Valley Country Club. Congratulations, Anna Kate Nichols, and congratulations to the PA golf team. Also, had a great day for the PA pre-K 3-year-olds. They had a teddy bear picnic. And you can tell by all the smiles online and their pictures that they are having their families and special guests spend some time with them there with the teddy bears. Had a great time. Also, one quick announcement. We hope that you'll join us for and some fellow PA moms at the home of Julie Stalkup on, I think that's Julie K. Stalkup, on Wednesday, October 6th from 7 to 9 p.m. The hostess planned a great evening with appetizers, desserts, and a selection of wines. Tickets are $40 per person and may be purchased online at PulaskiAcademy.org/wine. That's the good kind of wine, by the way, not the annoying kind of wine. Yeah, just clear that up. In case there was a question, I'm not going to go through any of the live fan feedback right now just because you know, a lot of it's for Coach Kelley, so we'll make sure he gets back for that. But he is stepped out of the booth for a second. I think he walked over to see his wife, Dana. She's out there in the stands, so I think he wanted to go say hi and check on some other folks, probably shake some hands. In the meantime, here comes the second half. There's Von Seelig to kick this one off. Once again, thank you for joining us for the Ackles Carpet One halftime show. At Ackles Carpet One, we make it beautiful for less. And we are back here in the Ron Jones Remax Affiliates Realty Studio here in Argyle, Texas today, as the Bruins traveled south to play the Liberty Christian Warriors. I'm going to take that halftime off the screen, I believe. There it goes. All right. It's great when a plan comes together. Okay, so as I understand it, we had nobody could hear me whenever we showed the graphic earlier. So I'm going to make a quick announcement here as we're watching these plays unfold. As I had the graphic up on the screen, nobody could hear what I was saying, and what I was telling you is we have a prize package of Bruin fan gear to give away tonight. Listen up. You still have time to enter and win this prize package of Bruin fan gear. All you have to do is go to pulaskiacademy.org/give online. Is that right? Is that what it said? Yeah, give online. Let's put it up there real quick, and then we'll take it down, and then we'll double check that real quick. But the idea is you give a donation to the annual fund during tonight's game. Yes, that's right. pulaskiacademy.org/give online. Give a donation to the annual fund during tonight's game, and you are automatically entered to win this prize pack of Bruin fan gear for celebrating our 50th anniversary as a school. So go online and give that quick donation to the annual fund, and we'll make an announcement of who wins that prize pack tonight in the fourth quarter.
Have you ever had a guy late for the second half?
No, but you know you're special. We'll let you get by.
You ever had a guy late where he's about to can't breathe? Like that quarterback after that sack
right there. Yeah. After that's he's going to have a tough time getting up after that one.
Yes.
Christina in your headset?
I didn't want him to hear the heavy breathing from running up the stairs. It's tough. Those are steep. There's a lot of them, too.
I'm telling you, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Quigley Stadium back home in Little Rock. It's not concrete, but it's pretty steep.
It's steep and kind of long.
I mean, yeah. A few wind sprints up those stairs they'll
Yeah, I've had 2 tonight, and that's more than enough.
That's all it'll take. Here's the punt from the Warriors. It goes really high and not very far, and of course, as usual, the Bruins trot off the field to avoid any potential turnovers there.
So PA has a chance to, if they go down and score here, to invoke that sportsmanship rule. Right?
Yes, yeah, they do.
It's 35. That would put it at 40, but they've got to put it together here and march it down first.
Well, I wanted to wait till you were back because some of these were directed at you, Coach. Let's see. Here's a good one. If PA makes it to and wins the state championship game this year, will you be getting another tattoo edition?
You know, that's something I need to think about. I think probably I will, because my heart will be forever at PA too. So,
right.
You know, and I mean, I feel like I'll always be a part of this place because it's certainly been a part of my family for 25 years.
I love it. McKinney in motion. 2 receivers on the left. There's the snap. Handoff to Hyman. He's across the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40. And he is going to the house. Touchdown, Joe Hyman.
Well, I know he has a 100-yard game because that was 60, and he had another 60-something earlier. So another nice night for Joe. And, you know, if they were looking to come out here and get that mercy roll going and get everybody in the game and a chance to get some game experience, then they did exactly what they were trying to do coming out from the half.
That's it. That'll do it right there. Put some 41 points ahead if my math is right. I'm not usually trusted with simple math like that, but
yeah, I think that's 41.
Yeah, okay, all right. Thank you for checking me on the math.
You know, that's what – you know, my wife keeps me in check, and she also checks on things. So that's a good – there's a lot of good reasons to have them, but it's good when they can keep you from making mistakes to make you look silly too.
Well, you know, it's great having Christina as our producer because half the time she's in my headset saying, no, you need to stop. Don't talk about that anymore. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. You know, so it's
Would
great.
that be producer or director?
Yes.
Yes. Good.
In life and on broadcast.
I always tell everybody you're a highly intelligent person. That answer proved it right there in 3 ways. Yes to both questions, and yes, my wife's here listening, so yes.
Well, if you tell anybody I'm a highly intelligent person, you just need to question everything you say now. So now we will have a running clock the remaining of the game. Like we said earlier, the sportsmanship rule in this league in Texas is more than 40-point lead in the second half. So now the clock is ticking away. 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
This second half is going to go by really
it's
fast.
Go by fast.
It just seems so fast. I mean, you know it's going to be 24 minutes, and it's going to be 24 quick ones.
Here's Von Seelig. He's going to kick this one deep, no doubt. He's got to start looking at who can –
into the end zone, deep kick.
Who might be interested in him for college? Because a lot of times all he gets to do is kick those onside kicks, which is great. That works. But there's a lot of college coaches that are looking for something a little more versatile.
Yeah, when I was back there, he was one of our harder workers. You'd come out on a Saturday or a Sunday, Von's out there kicking.
Right.
And he's working on whatever we needed him to, and then he's working on what he thought he needed to do for college too.
Sure.
So, a guy that does what he's asked to do is one thing, and then works on what he wants to for himself after that. It's impressive, and that's what he did the whole time I was at PA. I'm sure he's doing the same thing.
He is.
Now.
I've been up there several times to work out in the Buck Center, and he's the only one on the field.
Yeah.
On the weekend. All right, looking to pass. He goes to the right side, and it is barely tipped off the fingertips of Michael Zarcone. He wasn't able to pull it in, so that'll be 2nd and 10 for the Warriors.
Yeah, the PA defensive line still playing hard right there. Didn't bring a blitz, but still getting to the quarterback. And that's just, it's tough when you're down this much to just keep playing with the same intensity level. And I think PA still is doing that, and Liberty Christian needs to find themselves doing it as well, to give the quarterback a chance to get some confidence for the next game.
2 receivers on both sides. Little play action there and a handoff. Play action and then a pass to the right side. That was incomplete. I don't know how he didn't catch that. Ball's not wet. There's nobody in the area to defend it.
I'm telling you, it's just hard to concentrate when you get down like this,
yeah.
Especially – in Arkansas, everybody knew if the sportsmanship rule was invoked, nobody's ever come back from that, and you just lose focus. And I'm sure Liberty Christian's suffering a little bit of that right now, just knowing that, okay, we're playing out the game. And you'd like to think that everybody focuses every play, but it's just hard to. We know that.
Yeah. Again, same set. He has twins on either end of the field and one man in the backfield from the shotgun. There's the snap. It's a low snap, but he gets it. Under pressure, and he is sacked. That's going to be a 5-yard loss for the Warriors. Tough spot for them to be. He's brought down this time by Romello Bell.
Yeah, Romello was lined up at defensive end and just put a quick move on that tackle and got right by him, and the quarterback had less than 2.5 seconds to throw the football, and you're not going to get off a lot of passes in that situation.
This one coming in for Tyson McCarroll. He says, "Go Bruins. We're glad to see Tyson McCarroll out there. Long wait for his pawpaw."
Looks like Liberty Christian's going to punt. PA will let them and run off the field.
Another high punt. Doesn't go very far. It goes very high. And it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Let's go down our live fan feedback here. Let's see. Great to hear Kevin doing the play from the Pinos.
Oh, yeah, love the Pino family.
Coach, what is the defensive plan for the back half? Are we manning up or running zone with our eyes on the quarterback?
PA does a good job of mixing it up both, and when they have certain blitz schemes, they're in man. They make it look like zone, and but they're in a heavy man set. And then at other times that when they bring it, they just go back in quarters. And they're willing to give away some underneath stuff and not give up the big play. But they've done a good job of it all night of mixing it up and having the opportunity to do that.
Here's Jalen McKinney. He is across the 10 and in the end zone. Touchdown Bruins.
Got a flag back on the 50. I don't know that it wasn't a block in the back.
We'll have to see.
So we'll have to see, yeah.
That was Kel Busby, who was the quarterback on that one. He passed it to the right side over to McKinney. Let's see.
Good to see Kel in there. We need to get some confidence as he's going to have to take over the helm next year when Charlie leaves. And he needs to get back there and have some time and be able to throw and catch and work on his quarterback skills.
Yeah, there was an illegal illegal use of the hands is what I always go to when they say that,
Yeah,
but it's typically blocking the back.
Yeah, if they point their hand out, it's usually a block in the back. If they face their palm towards them, it's a hold.
Okay.
So yeah, I think somebody just pushed somebody in the back right there.
2 receivers on the left, 2 to the right, 1 man in the backfield. There's the snap to Busby. He rolls out to the right side. Quick little disjointed handoff.
I think that was to Kenny Jordan. A little option flip out there.
Yeah. It almost looked like it was kind of clumsy.
You know, we've taught them over the years not to pitch a true option pitch because those are hard to catch.
Sure.
And so you kind of just want to palm the ball out to them and make
Right.
it an easy butterfly. I mean, just a little where it's not just spinning so rapidly.
Sure.
And I think he tried to do that and got stuck halfway between. It just
Gotcha.
looked a little funny.
3 receivers on the left, 2 to the right from the shotgun. There's the snap, passes to the left side, and it's caught by Joe Hyman. He's across the 50, lots of pressure, and he is brought down at the 46-yard line.
I think that was Jalen McKinney again.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry. I thought
It
that
was.
said
Yeah,
6.
I don't think you'll be seeing Joe anymore.
Right. That 5 and 6 throws me off
Yeah,
every time
it
I see
does.
it in
There's
the
not
wrinkles
much space
there.
between
Yeah.
that. Gets it up to a short 3rd and 2.
It is nice tonight. We've got white jerseys with dark-colored, can't tell whether it's blue or black numbers.
I think they're navy numbers and navy pants. It really reminds me of a Notre Dame uniform.
It really does. There's the snap to Busby. He rolls out to the right side. Quick handoff. And he is stopped after about maybe 1 yard of travel, but it's still going to be about a 4-yard loss for the Bruins. It'll be 4th down, and I think 5 yards to go.
Yeah, a little sprint draw, a little sprint out to the right, and Kenny took a couple steps with him, and Kell puts it in his stomach and hopes he can make it back around the left side where everybody's vacated. But they did a good job staying at home, Liberty Christian did.
Busby to pass to the right side, and it's complete. That is caught by Tyson McCarroll, and that'll move the chains. That's a Holloman and Associates first down.
That was a really nice catch by Tyson. The ball was behind him, and he went a couple steps further than I think Kell thought he was going to, and he had to manipulate his body and back to get both hands on the ball to come down with that one. It was a really nice play on 4th down.
Bruins looking to the sidelines for their next play. Going to swap some folks out.
We got some younger guys coming in on that line. You could tell the center looks to be about 140 pounds. Left tackled 150. Kelley needs to get rid of the ball quick. He does.
And it is caught, but he is caught pretty quickly. Picked up about 3 yards on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 7.
It was nice by Kell knowing, put some guys in, the younger guys, and not going to have a lot of time because you got some little guys taking on some big dudes from Liberty Christian now. And he's got to get the ball in his hand and find where he's going to throw it and get it out of his hand quickly.
That was Charlie Barker with that reception. This time Busby has 3 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. He has Kenny Jordan in the backfield. There's the snap. Passes to the left side. It's complete to Charlie Barker, and he's still on his feet across the 35, and he's stopped at the 34-yard line. Looks like he is stopped by a great big number 8. That's Tristan De La Rosa.
Charlie avoided a couple of defenders there. Made the first 2 miss to get a couple extra yards and make it into a 3rd and short.
So Charlie's going to go have a seat, and in comes John
Mark
Charette, yeah. I was just talking to Justin Charette earlier this week. 2nd Lieutenant Justin Charette.
Yeah.
Graduated West Point.
Love Justin. Love his decision to serve the United States in the capacity he is.
Pass is complete this time to the left side to Will Hawkins. He forces his way up to the 30-yard line where he stopped, and there's another first down for the Bruins.
I always laugh when I see Justin and John Mark together because Justin's like 4 or 5 years older, and John Mark just towers over him.
Right.
So if you're listening, not making fun, bud, because I know you'd still whip him if y'all got into it.
Right.
But John Mark's a big boy.
Yeah, he's recently married and now stationed down at Fort Benning.
Yeah, he's not too far away from me.
Doing an officer basic course down there. Here's 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Busby has twins stacked on either end of the field, and instead it's a handoff that goes about 4 yards. That was Kenny Jordan with the carry. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Good to see the young guys in there marching the ball down, making 4 and 5 yard plays at a time, controlling the game a little bit, and also making first downs.
Just pushing it ahead. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. As you said, once you get this thing going, it just disappears.
It does. It
It's
goes
fast.
really, really fast.
Bruins lead 56-14 here in the third quarter. About 10 seconds left. 3 receivers on the left, 1 to the right. Man in motion. There's the snap. Quick handoff to Kenny Jordan. He cuts up to the left, tries to cut up, and is stopped. Looked like somebody had him tripped up for a second there and still was able to pick up a couple more yards just to get back to the original line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, he did a nice job literally making a loss look like it turned into a 3 or 4 yard gain right there because there was nothing, and he was wrapped up, like you said, and then kind of slithered his way through there and popped out the other side for a little gain.
So that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to keep it right here.
This is really the only time in the game where our defense over there is actually pulling for our offense to fail quickly.
Right.
Because they want to get out there and get in the game. You know,
Sure.
those younger guys will be like, hey, the offensive guys have all been in now. It's our turn. We want to so either score or give them the ball, you know, one of the two.
Sure.
Nice to see Coach Witten still got his guys hustling. He's demanding, you know, when talking to him, he wanted to change the culture of the program and change what those guys were doing. And nice to see him even in the fourth quarter in a game that the outcome's already decided to still hold his guys accountable, keep those guys hustling on and off the field, not letting them get their head down. And they're under some good direction, and he's going to do some good things with this program.
Well, I have failed in my duty here in this game, Coach. I've been so excited about this game and having you with me, I've forgotten about our sponsors. So I'm going to start acknowledging some of those in rapid fire.
Don't tell me you forgot Jenny Cole and Crown Trophy.
Never forget Jenny Cole and Crown Trophy. It's right there on the screen the whole game. They're our game presenter.
Love Jenny Cole, Crown Trophy. She's been doing great things for PA and all of our awards for a long time.
There's Will Hawkins with the carry, trying to make his way up inside the end zone, but it looks like he made it to the 1 yard line. So while we're talking about Crown Trophy, you of course know that Crown Trophy of Little Rock has every type of award to recognize athletes, students, and even coworkers. But more than that, they can customize drinkware, badges, and even rings. Whether you have people working for you or working hard on your team, show them your appreciation by recognizing them with something special from Crown Trophy of Little Rock. Visit them online at crowntrophy.com.
You got all that in before they got to play in. That's impressive because PA usually goes pretty quick.
Right. All right. There's the snap. Pushing ahead. I'm not sure they got in there.
I think they're trying to get Will in the end zone, get him a touchdown down here. And, yeah, I mean, Liberty Christians play with pride right now, trying not to let them in. Got everybody packed in the box, so it's just a little man-on-man, you know, see who can get lower in the pad level and drive the other one back. And Liberty Christian won that one.
Both teams have all of their timeouts still here in the fourth quarter. The clock is ticking. Starting to see just a few fans from Liberty Christian trickle out. There's the high snap to Busby. He makes his way to the left side, and he gives a quick pitch to Nowhereville.
Yeah, just trying to avoid the sack, leave him in a 3rd and goal from the 2 rather than a 3rd and goal from the 8.
Of course, we are inside the Caldwell Toyota Red Zone. At Caldwell Toyota, they are passionate about helping drivers find a vehicle that's right for them for the most affordable prices possible. That's why they carry such a large selection of new Toyota models. There's the snap. Handoff. He is inside. There it is. Touchdown, Bruins.
Is it Kenny Jordan?
That was Kenny Jordan.
Kenny did a good job coming out early in the year when Joe was injured, and started off that first game, did a really nice job against Robinson, and he's a young kid that's got a lot of bright future ahead of him. He'll step right into Joe's role next year, and still have 2 more years after this one. And he was really good coming out in 9th grade, and now he's just picking it up. It's good to see him getting some game experience in the varsity level as well.
There's Von Seelig with the extra point, and it is good. The Bruins now lead this game 63-14. The clock continues to tick away. They normally stop the clock after a touchdown in Arkansas?
You can do it either way.
Okay.
If both coaches agree, they'll usually ask the coach that's losing at the time if he wants it to run continuously or by the traditional rules.
Gotcha.
They're not nearly as quick as this if they play by the regular sportsmanship rules because the clock will stop after scores.
Sure.
It actually stops after a first down. To remark it, but it just doesn't stop on incompletions.
Okay.
So, there's only a couple of differences there, but most of the time people just run it and let it get over with. Those young guys don't want to see it running, though. They want to get their time. They want to get their plays
in there.
in.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line there. You don't want to just take away their ability to get there, but sometimes you want to avoid injury if you've still got a lot of the season left.
Another deep kick from Von Seelig. He's going to place this one at the 5, and it's going to bounce into and out of the end zone for a touchback. One of our other great sponsors this year has been Central Arkansas Mahindra. They can provide you with the latest and best in outdoor power products to make your outdoor living more enjoyable. Combine this wide array of selections with their friendly and knowledgeable staff, and we're convinced they'll become your only stop for all of your outdoor power needs. They're happy to help you find the perfect outdoor power equipment, service, or the parts you've been looking for. Check them out online at centralarkansasmahindra.com.
Liberty Christian's playing some younger guys in, too. It's going to be interesting to see if they can match up with the guys PA's putting in right now.
Yeah, that was Steele Doss at quarterback. First time we've seen him in the position tonight.
I think he played a couple of plays earlier when their quarterback got shook up a couple times. But, yeah, but to just take over, I think that's his first time. PA's starting to insert some youngsters on defense as well. And always looking, that's part of the development program at PA, is get these guys in as soon as you can and develop them and get them ready because they're going to be the starters next year.
There's the snap, looking to pass, under pressure. He's going to run out of the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. He's across. He has the first down, and he is brought down at about the 42-yard line. Did you see who was on the stop there? Was that Bo? Looked like Bo Miller maybe? I don't know. Thought I saw number 2.
No, I think Josh Cady was in.
Okay.
I think 2 was on the two was on the back side of that play.
Okay.
I think it was Josh Cady in on that one. Give credit to Liberty Christian, still lining up, wanting to go down and score, get some confidence.
There's the interception.
Interception by Josh Cady.
That makes number 4 on the year, I believe.
Josh still on his feet.
Wow.
Nice 20-yard run
That
back
defender
by
was
Josh.
in front of him, had him wrapped up in the waist, and Josh was still pushing him forward.
Yeah, but, those defensive guys, when they get their hands on the ball, they don't get a chance to get their hands on the ball much. They want to fight for every yard they can.
Well, and he's a tough kid anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a wrestler. He's been on state championship wrestling teams, state championship football teams, and he plays a really tough position. You're out there at corner.
Right.
If somebody runs a long route on you and you get a touchdown pass caught on you, everybody in the stadium knows it's you. It takes mental toughness to get back out there. If a lineman misses a tackle or a linebacker and a guy runs for a touchdown, nobody knows exactly who it was.
Sure.
And so you've got to be tough mentally to be able to get out there and play corner time after time, especially after getting beat. And Josh has showed us over the last couple of years that he's going to go walk back out there and play the same game. Kenny Jordan on the run. Kenny fights. Again, he's a guy that gets wrapped up a lot, and I don't know how because he's not a big, strong, thick kid, but he's just hard to tackle even though they've got him wrapped up, and he shakes loose for another 8 yards after contact.
5 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. Bruins lead 63-14 against Liberty Christian here in Argyle, Texas.
Surely they're not going to pass to John Mark. He just wiped his gloves off like the ball was coming to him and his life depended on it.
Right.
So, good to see him put some fakeness in there because I don't know if fakeness is a word, but he was wiping his gloves off like they're throwing this to me no matter what on this play.
No, that was Kenny Jordan again with the carry. They're going to have timeout called by the Warriors. Quickly, I want to make sure that we thank Ron Jones Remax Affiliates Realty. Ron Jones and Charlotte Emery offer you a combined 40 years of real estate experience for all of your residential or commercial needs, whether you're buying or selling. Ron Jones Remax Affiliates Realty is standing by to take your call and schedule a market survey and consultation at your convenience. For listings or more information, call them at 501-416-3658 or visit them online at ronjonesrealtor.com. Going to take a quick look over here at our live fan feedback. Lots of folks writing in tonight. Let's see. Casey Reap from the 2007 PA team says, I loved learning the game of football from Coach Kelley, but I will forever be grateful for all he taught me about life and how to become a man.
Oh, man. And Casey went out and served back. He was a firefighter for a long time. Casey had one of the image that'll never leave my mind. He broke his leg, his femur, against Little Rock Central back in 2003 in a scrimmage game, and massive injury. But Casey, a good man, and just started giving right back to society in the form of service as soon as he was able to. Love it when those old guys make contact. And I call him old. Casey, you're old now.
Right.
I hate to tell you about it. 18 and so you're probably like 35, 36 years old, something like that. That's not old, really.
Right.
52 is old.
I have to agree.
Hey, I feel it. I feel it.
Busby gives a quick handoff, and they've made their way up inside the red zone. Is there a turnover? Yes, there is. I thought I saw a fumble on that one.
He did. Great run, too, before the fumble.
Trying to see who that was with the carry. That was Andrew Pfizer.
Oh, Andrew.
I thought I saw him.
Little brother.
He got it stripped out on the way there. And so this is Warriors ball inside their own 19-yard line.
Made a nice cut up when they opened a hole for him. Gets it up to 10 or 12 yards and then can't hang on to it at the end. God, this thing is flying by. There's 3 minutes left of the game.
It does.
Feels like we just started this fourth quarter. Little handoff. He tried to bounce it outside. 2 Bruins there. 4 more waiting on him. 2 more got in the tackle.
Well, so it is time. I promised that we would announce the winner of this annual fund drive here in the fourth quarter, so it's a good time to do it now. So congratulations to Paula Barnhill for you've been selected as the winner of this Bruin prize pack. Leanna Wall will be in touch. Congratulations. Let's see. Coach, here's a question for you. Wondering if Coach Kelley can tell us how to watch his college games on TV or computer. We'd like to follow him. That's from Anna and Mike Murray.
ESPN Plus.
ESPN
Plus.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad to say that they've been showing all of our games. I think the last one was on Facebook Live, and that wasn't us broadcasting. It was Facebook Live doing broadcast. They did us in Sylvan Hills, PA in Sylvan Hills a few years ago.
Okay.
Really nice job they did, too. Had 600,000 views on that game.
Wow.
So pretty cool.
I would do a cartwheel if I had those kind of numbers at one game. It's pretty crazy. That pass was intended for number 16, Michael Zarcone, and we're getting close to the 2-minute mark on this one, but they call a timeout once again, Liberty Christian.
I think Facebook has a little bit more of a marketing budget than you do. They were able to advertise that thing out,
right?
Loud and proud,
a little bit,
yeah,
a little bit more.
This
year, I don't know if you saw. You probably didn't. I know you're in Little Rock earlier today, but you probably didn't have time to see it. But we actually had billboards, digital billboards, all over town with your face on it. You didn't know? Here, let me show you a picture.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. He's looking at me like, "Are you kidding me, Josh?"
No, yeah.
I did not agree to this. No, I'm serious.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same billboards
the one
that we
that's
put
out in
the
front
seniors.
of the new doctor's building that used to be Kmart.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, I don't get to pick them. Jack Langford, of course, is helping me out with those.
Yeah.
So it's on 3 different billboards, and it looks like we got another. Is that an interception there?
And a flag.
And
We've
a
got
flag
a lot
coming
going
in.
on. We've got guys going everywhere. We've got a quarterback down. We've got a Bruin with the ball. We've got flags flying. 22 guys in a pile.
Trying to find that graphic for you. It's
Looks like it was a turnover for the Bruins. 1:40 left. Some young guy on the Bruins team is begging for Coach to let him have a chance with the ball.
Absolutely.
Can I get a chance for a touchdown?
It's my turn, Coach. Put me in, Coach. Oh, there it is, Coach. There you go.
I wonder, somebody sent me that picture, and I was like, where did that come from? And I thought they must have took a picture of their screen.
Oh, I took a picture off your website.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Yeah,
off
that
of PC's website.
I look younger there. That must have been like 28 years ago.
Yeah. So that's the one they have of you on the PC website.
They've got me in the Bruin shirt.
Yeah, they do.
Good.
Yeah. So we've got that all over town.
I don't mind that at all.
Now they're letting the clock. They're really playing the clock now. 15 seconds on the play clock. 1 minute left in this game. He's going to take a knee.
Yeah. Well, that's cowboy to cowboy showing some respect right
yes,
there.
It is. Yes, it is.
And Jason's a lot bigger than Anthony, so I don't know if he wants to meet him at midfield. I I must commend as a spiritual person. I love the recessed for him.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
On the field, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I saw
Recessed,
that.
It's there, but it's very cool. I like that look. That's
yeah,
really
I like
neat.
it. I like it. Now, one of the things that folks at home didn't get to see, because we did have a pretty cool halftime show. Somebody else said that they liked it, but let's see. Josh, biased, but best halftime show ever. Thanks for all you do. Oh, that's Kevin helping. Oh, thanks, Kevin. So, yeah, of course, yeah, he is biased on that one because his son was in the interview.
Right.
But we had a couple of interviews, like I said, from the drama department and, of course, one about the writing center from Mr. Vaughn. But what you missed out here was a pretty cool presentation from the dance team and the band here at Liberty Christian. But also, it's kind of a neat deal where they play like some music, some dance music, and they invite all the little kids out onto the field to dance and goof off and play around. And then they have a siren that goes off. That's their signal to come running off the field.
Well, we do the thing where the kids are all out there running crazy at PA.
Right.
We just don't have the siren to get them off.
Right.
So you'll see, Andy out there running.
Right.
trying
Yeah,
to get 'em
Andy's
off.
out there trying to corral everybody. Yeah. That's true.
We might need to try the siren, make his life a little easier.
No kidding.
Or better yet, give Andy the siren.
All right, I'm going to run through all of these real quick. I'm not going to read them all. I'm just going to look and see. Little Rock Christian game just went final. Get this: Whitehall beat Little Rock Christian 14-10.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Kohu today, and he was worried about that defense. Whitehall's got 6 guys back that have started for 2 years on the defense. So they've started since their sophomore year.
Wow.
So they're 6 third-year senior starters on defense. He was really worried about those guys, and I don't know what the weather was like in Arkansas. It may have been pouring down rain and not letting them do some throwing and stuff, but I knew that was going to be a good ball game.
Well, I was trying to find the PA schedule. Is it next week that we're going to Whitehall? I think it is. I know we're going there soon, but we'll watch for that one. Let's see. Looking ahead. It's next week. We're at Whitehall, so that'll be an interesting game for the Bruins as well.
Yeah. I mean, Whitehall, like I said, Coach Bolding's done a great job of changing some things in that program, and like I say, he's got them very defense oriented right now, running the ball, and that's the one thing that's always given us problems at PA. If you could run the ball and hold that clock and grind that play clock down and keep our offense over there, getting the jitters a little bit and getting anxious and wanting to be back out there. That's been a good recipe to have a good game against us, and then throw in our very, very good defense from Whitehall, and that's going to be a great game to watch.
Yes, it is. Go Bruins! Great to hear Coach Kelley. Great commentary from you both. From your only Bruin fan residing in Harrison, Steve Gray.
Yeah, Steve's awesome. Appreciate that, Steve.
My dad, of course, super game and great commentary. Thanks, Pop. What is PA's record this year? The answer to that is, I guess now we are
4-1.
4-1. We lost one game to Lipscomb Academy in Nashville. Incredible team, and I
think they're ranked number 2 overall in Tennessee.
Yeah, they certainly are. Let's see, who is next week's guest commentator for Whitehall? I don't remember. Tell you what, let me just take a look real quick, see if I can find it.
Is that game at home?
No, it's at Whitehall.
Okay.
So, of course, we get to I love it. Christina hates it. There's others that hate it. The Cannon.
Oh, I know. The Cannon.
I love it. We were talking about that last week. Okay, this is not the right drive.
I think that's what people say about what you either love that Cannon or you hate that Cannon.
Yeah.
There's nobody's like, oh, I'm okay with it.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. My favorite part, honestly, is watching the crowd jump. They'll score, the whole crowd jumps, and I'm like, hey, that's funny.
Especially if it's a long one that you don't expect. If they're on the one, you kind of expect it.
Sure.
But if it's an interception for a touchdown, you don't think it's coming. Then boom, you're like, goodness.
Yes.
Gracious.
Yeah. All right. So here's my list. I'm trying to get there. All right. Schedule. Who is joining me for next week? I have Garrett Benson.
Oh, love Garrett Benson.
All right.
Yeah. Garrett played for us and was back on the 2008 state championship team
How
as
do you
a senior.
remember that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is insane.
I don't have to think about that.
I can't remember what happened in the first quarter of this game.
Garrett single-handedly. We were, that team. No, not 2008. I stand corrected. 2011. The Freddie Knight and Jason King. Those guys.
Yep.
Because specifically, we went down to Lake Hamilton. They were the 6A champions.
Yes.
And we were the coming in and wanting to beat those guys, and we were behind in the first half. Freddie had thrown 3 interceptions.
Right.
And we came out in the second half and scored 28 unanswered points, shut them out, and Garrett Benson caught a nice long pass on that one that turned everything around for us.
Wow.
Yeah, and,
Fantastic.
Glad to see him. He's still a guy that comes around the program, likes to speak to our guys, and spend some time with them and kind of teach them some life lessons and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
He's a guy that loves PA and gives back to PA too.
Sure. Well, Narisha Woods is going to close this one out for us. She said, "Nope, no rain." So we're able to get out of here without any rain tonight.
It is. And Narisha, tell Iverson he's still the cutest smile I've ever seen.
Ain't that the truth? It is so true. Oh, no rain in Little Rock. Oh, okay.
Well, there's not any down here.
There's not any down here
Thank
either.
Goodness.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a fantastic game, and I cannot say enough how great it was to be here. You know, it's tough coming to any facility where you're looked at sometimes as the opponent or the enemy, but it's clear to me that the athletic department here is just fantastic. They've been so welcoming and friendly to us. I can't say enough how great it was to be here.
Yeah, and they caught me at halftime with their baseball coach and their athletic director. That's
Johnny Eisel.
Yeah, and just really nice, and was talking to me about, hey, what do you think about contacting PA, maybe getting a baseball game started between us and things like
there you
that.
go.
So I may text Coach Adams and tell him to reach out down here. And,
he was talking to me. You kind of want to make this like a cross-state rivalry sort of thing where we swap
really
basketball games even and stuff. So.
That'd be really cool because these are some good people, and I think everybody's enjoyed it on both sides.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Man,
this has been so much fun.
I loved it. It was great to see familiar faces. I mean, you know, you pack up the whole family and you move them somewhere, and we knew it was going to be. We knew there was some. We were really comfortable here, and you got to go out and meet new people and do new things. And it doesn't matter, you know, we've got some friends down there and some good people, some great people, but there is nothing like the relationships you've built, you know, growing up, and I feel like they've helped us raise our family, and, you know, it's been awesome. So I love seeing the people. Can't wait till Christmas now to come back and see everybody again. So I wanted to stop by PA today, but I had to make my rounds and do some other things, but we will get back in December because I love the PA people and want to see all the workers there that I've worked with for so long, and our coaches and administration and stuff. But as usual, the school's off to a great start, and from everybody I talked to, the school's just rolling and doing things like they always do, being the best school in the state.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Coach, and thank you all for joining us tonight for tonight's broadcast. We'll see you next week from Whitehall as the Bruins head to Pine Bluff. Thanks again. Good night, good luck, and 73.